Hello, and thank you for joining us for session 3 of Outrunners, a Starscape actual play on the Happy Jacks RPG Network. To find all the sessions of this game, please visit happyjacks.org/Starscape. And to find all the shows on the Happy Jacks Network, you can go to happyjacks.org. My name is Kimi, she, her, and I am the GM and also the designer of this system, which, if you want to support us, I'm going to pitch it top because we just got to do it. Go to goldenlassogames.com/Kickstarter. The Kickstarter will be going live the end of June 2024 if you're from the future. But you can go now and follow the page and help us get some pre-gen rewards and some follower rewards. So let's go ahead and let's start on this side since Dave seems busy.
Hey. Hi everybody, I'm Sam. I use she, they pronouns, and I am here to play the Unfamiliar playbook, which is a perfectly normal person called Nolvath who uses they, them pronouns and is a not human, walking magic eye painting. Just so much camouflage all the time.
Or living jump scare.
Living jump scare, also, yes. Means well, though.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, I'm Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns, and I am here to play Road, who is the civilian playbook, and Road uses he, him pronouns, and he is the one being jump scared.
Hi folks, I'm Jay, he, him, and I am playing the Hotshot playbook, Lieutenant Jonas P. Hurley, also he, him, who is the only human of the group, and loving it.
For so many reasons.
Sometimes 3 or 4 at a time.
Trying all flavors.
Right, yeah.
Life's a buffet. And most pork suckers are starving to death. Anyway, hi everybody. I'm CADave. I'm playing Lawrence Benson, a completely normal guy that doesn't want to eat you.
A normal guy with multiple sets of teeth. Don't worry about it.
Just, it's just advanced dentistry. If one falls out or gets messed up, there's just another one. It's always there.
So handy.
Yeah, just like
Teeth.
in real life, they just approved a drug for human testing to regrow human teeth, so that's pretty cool.
That sounds like it's gonna hurt.
Oh.
Well, I don't know how it works. But I think that's a cool idea. If you could just, doctor gave me a pill, I grew a new kidney. Like that's, that's the start of that technology.
Weird true story. I was born with shark's teeth, with extra teeth, just like a shark.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So
awesome.
people already have that.
Yeah, it is a thing.
All right.
All right.
That's me.
So that's how we're starting our game tonight, everyone.
I totally forgot what I was doing.
This is a very, 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 very almost finished version of the game. We are still tweaking some things. I was at a convention this last weekend and did a bunch of playtesting, got some incredible feedback from all the different times I ran it. So there are a few tweaks. So if you're noticing differences from session to session sometimes, it is because I'm still improving and working on the system. Quick Start should be out very soon, and then I'll probably continue to gather feedback from the Quick Start until the final product after the Kickstarter, if it comes, which it should hopefully come. All right. Last time on Starscape. So, you had been on a planet that had beautiful crystalline leaves.
Schizo.
You'd been paid by a very wealthy trio of young people to take them off planet. They were trying to get away from a very structured, hierarchical system, even though their planet seemed very great and utopian. And it was in many ways. If you were a young person who wanted to do something other than what your rich family wanted you to do, it wasn't a great place. So you provided passage for them. They decided to bring some illegal items, illegal produce. It was some of the crystalline trees and some of the seeds from them.
Illicit fauna.
Yeah, illicit fauna.
Flora, the other way.
Flora, yeah, right.
Yes.
Well,
I'm the fauna.
we have illicit fauna as well.
Yeah,
we haven't found on both.
I forgot about that.
I know exactly where we are now. Okay. And then you were able to, through some amazing acting and persuasion and things like that, get the officers at the jump gate to let you through. And oh yeah, of course we don't have these poor little rich kids who are running away from home on our ship anywhere. You got in through the jump gate. You're at jump, and during that process, your ship was scanned, and it said that there were 50, I think, sentient beings aboard.
Yeah.
Yes.
And 7 different species.
And seven different species, which did not include the cows, because they're not,
Yeah, they were
No,
separate.
many animals
Yes.
was a separate call out.
Yes. And so this gigantic colony ship that, as far as you know, only had you all on it.
Yeah.
There's
It's a big ship.
a good few life forms unaccounted for.
Yes. So I believe that we left off with Nolvath just like walking in the hall, and the shot of like all the cryo tubes that kind of dusty. You hadn't really wanted to look in them. Some of them might be active, some of them might be not. Like going into that hallway. Did I miss any big information?
We talked about what we were going to do about the trees. Our lovely passengers would like to go plant them on this planet that seems habitable and specifically has phosphorus-rich soil, which will benefit the trees and might make them grow faster.
Yeah.
But we were trying to decide, because Rode thinks that we should keep a tree and grow it on the ship, but that has been vetoed repeatedly for smart reasons.
He did, however, convince our guests to give us a seed. though.
Yes.
So
And
we have
talked,
been bribed.
Yeah, and we talked about maybe installing some form of monitor
Yes.
on the planet.
A conservator of sorts
Yeah,
for our
yeah,
one
exactly.
seed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's 18% of their total forest.
Yeah.
Comes from our portion. So at the end of the day, if they start a tourism industry,
Long-term
18% of
investment.
a GDP is a good number.
Yeah.
Very true.
All right. Excellent. So do we want to pick up off right there, or
Nolvath going for a walk casually in our garden of frozen people.
I'm happy to do some inventory in a room of the ship we avoid for reasons.
for reasons? Yes.
And we're still in jump space.
Yes. And you're going far enough that, like, I think we said it was going to be 3 days.
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah.
going to be a full week. 3 days.
Slightly more
Yeah.
dramatic.
Little bit, yeah.
Tune it up.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that when I said. But yeah. So it's such a vast distance that, like, yes, in jump it'll still be about 3 days travel.
Yeah.
So, all right, Nolvath, are we gonna start with you?
Sure.
All right.
Let's go in the creepy room.
Mhm.
The very long, creepy room.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been on the ship a while. Are you even sure exactly how long?
No,
Okay.
I don't think they know because they were here a while before Rode showed up, who was the first other not a robot on the ship person that was here. So I don't think they know how long they were here by themselves.
Okay. All right. I love that.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Now you are looking for like DNA components. Had you gone through and tested any of the people or beings that are here are frozen?
No, I don't think it occurred to them at first. Like, they probably didn't really know what the cryotubes were for, and so until the others got here,
Mhm.
I'm like, oh. But then other people were here, so they get sidetracked with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little weird to steal DNA from things when other people are around to notice.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Namilla take DNA samples from willing participants.
Mhm. Yes, for sure. All right. So you walk down, and it's like a big hallway. So we're not talking like a hallway you'd have in like a house or even like a mansion or something like this. This is more like if you've ever been in like a really big hangar for airplanes, or not quite as big as the blimp ones that they had.
Those are so cool.
Yeah. Down there's these giant blimp hangars that are in Southern California, but they're kind of that same shape, kind of a tunnel shape, and you're walking down, and they're just kind of sticking out, but they're so tightly packed, it kind of gives the impression of, if you've seen like insect pods
Mhm.
that like are super close and they almost look like they're part of the wall. Did we? I think we said this was a human ship, right? Because it has cows on it.
I don't think we ever
It was
established.
tied back to the
Yeah.
before time.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It's a colony ship from the before times.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever met anybody,
No.
and we
There's
couldn't
nobody
read the stuff because we barely know how this ship works.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think we ever established that they're cows.
Yeah.
As we know it.
they could be
You
like
know.
mono-legged cows, but we call them cows.
They're cows. Okay. Excellent. All right. All right. So yeah, you are here with a lot of pods.
I'm gonna bring some of my scanning medical equipment and start looking for life signs, I guess.
Okay. Most of these, you can see a lot of them are empty. It looks like a lot of them weren't originally filled. There are some that have like remains, like that they're kind of like mummified. And
Mhm.
they're just kind of so they're very clearly not living. There's also some that have like just stuff in them,
Hmm.
like just like supplies. It's very odd. It was like
Oh, not like used to be people stuff.
no,
like-
no,
Like someone bringing their supply of steaks
not
in a freezer.
not
Use this.
they're like little boxes. It's hard to tell what it is, but it
Okay.
looks like people were just using it as like
Storage?
a storage space in some of them,
Interesting.
which is very odd because these are not ideal storage for anything other than
People.
beings.
Yeah.
But it looks like small boxes, and it seems to be just like random things. It's hard to tell what they are. Sometimes it looks like bandages and just random things, and
Huh.
another one it's like it seems to be some sort of like tablets, like the like a whole bunch of stacks of tablets.
Okay.
Most of which are not functioning at this point.
Yeah.
But, so it's a little weird, and there doesn't seem to be any organization to it. It's not like these 4 tubes are for storage. Like it's just like a random one has a bunch of stuff in it, and then one has a desiccated remains in it. Then like another one has more stuff in it, and a bunch of them are empty.
Interesting.
Yeah. Why don't you roll access knowledge for me?
Okay.
Play morbid bingo.
Access
Mhm.
knowledge. Great. Get to use my brains, which is what I like to
Oh,
do.
Connect 4.
All right, we got a 10.
All right. Excellent. So you do
10 plus. Choose 2 from the list.
Mhm.
All right.
Are you using the new one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because Act Out is
Yeah.
on here. Okay. Let's see. Well, I definitely want to scan an area to find or observe something physical.
Mhm.
So, live beings.
Beings. Okay.
That is what I would like to find
Okay.
if they are here.
Okay. It seems like as you're scanning, like it's a very long hallway. Like very, very, very long. 'Cause again, this is like a huge colony ship. It's miles probably wide. You're scanning, you're getting a few readings like at the top. Like there's because like they're kind of stacked.
Mhm.
Not on top of each other, but like it's like the one end of the tube is attached to the wall.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So they're not actually sitting on top of each other, but it kind of gives the impression of them being stacked.
Yeah, they're
because-
like seed pods.
It's
Yeah,
a
they-
matrix
Mhm.
egg pod.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. We're all thinking the same
Yeah.
thing. And as you're kind of walking, you find there's you're scanning and like at the very top there's a few,
Oh.
and it seems like there's like in this a very large section of the hallway that's like you probably walked like 3 football fields.
Mm-hmm.
You found like 2 that are showing signs of life.
Oh, okay.
Like very faintly, like unless you were like scanning for it, you probably
Yeah.
wouldn't have noticed with all the other like electrical activity and stuff happening on the ship.
Okay.
You found the top shelf people.
They just
So-
lost the ladder.
Sorry.
Like, oh, darn.
So I've walked about 2 football fields.
3.
No, 3, yes, and found 2 signs of life.
Yeah,
How much more hallway is there?
a lot.
Okay,
They're so much tall, and it's kind of a round shape.
gotcha.
So in this part of the ship, it kind of goes like around the main portion of the ship.
Yeah.
So it's probably a really long ways.
Okay. Probably more than I'm gonna need to bring snacks if I want to.
I mean, you can, like, if you want to set out and do that, then you can totally do that. I'm gonna tell you that, like, just because I don't want you doing the frustrated, like, locked door D&D thing, like,
Yeah.
all the living beings will not be in these pods.
Okay.
That's worse.
Yep.
Thanks.
No problem. Did you think it was gonna come in any flavor but worse?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing a scaredy cat. That's worse.
I think they'll probably do some quick math
Mhm.
based on like the size of the ship and how large they estimate this hallway to be, and then use their sample size to extrapolate how many
Yeah.
might be in the cryotubes.
Yeah.
What would be my general guess based on that?
I'm not going to give you an answer to that. I'm going to have you either roll again,
Okay.
or because I think this might be a situation where you don't have enough data.
Okay.
Because I think you would know that you would have to maybe like check out the cryopods and see maybe why these ones still were functioning
Mm-hmm.
before you could do the math to then figure out how many there could be working.
Okay.
Because if there was something that was just in this part of the ship, I don't know, it feels like you need another variable there before you
Yeah.
could just like, you could find an average, like, okay, if I found 2 in these 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking
okay.
for. Yeah, like just the average of like.
Okay, we'll say that around the ship, I probably should have done math.
It's really
That's
big.
okay.
It's really big. Like, I feel like generation and like colony ships are like
Thousands and thousands.
Yeah.
yeah, huge, right? Like miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna say it's how many?
15?
Well, yeah. Okay, we'll say like that the ring around there. We'll
Uh-huh.
say we'll just say it's like 10 miles.
Okay.
Mhm.
So it's like just to keep the math super simple.
Yeah, and how long's a football field?
100
100
yards.
yards. You know what I
I know
really
sports.
should have done? I should have said it's 10 kilometers.
There you go.
There.
There. Perfect.
Okay.
Done.
Yeah. And we're using a football with meters because everything is better in the metric system.
Yes, it's true. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Zeros are great.
Okay.
So kilometer is 1,000 meters.
Mm-hmm.
So 10,000 meters. So it's a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could do
It's
that.
definitely not all 50, though.
No.
No.
I also don't know that we've ever walked the whole thing because that's so big.
Oh, probably not. No.
No.
I like the idea, though, the way you described it, where they're like the central core is where we've spent our time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this, in my head, I picture it looks like kind of like it almost like it's a helical
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
hallway that kind of spirals around it,
Like-
where they were in
Yeah.
cold storage,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. So, like, I think that's cool. I
Yeah.
like
That was
that.
kind of my thought. And then like that main center area is where like the cow pods or the cow
The cow
The
pots.
cow-
Cow domes.
Not a pad, yeah,
Yeah.
the cow dome.
The
That's
cow
what we call
dome,
it,
yeah.
The big
And like some of our
Yeah.
and the
ridiculous
forest.
forest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and all the things that have
Yeah.
overgrown over all the centuries that started off as
Yeah.
as places for them to live on the ship.
Okay. And I do get one more question for rolling a 10. Let's see. So I did the scan an area.
You can pick it twice.
Oh, that's true. I think I'd like to. Can I use access specialized information to find like a terminal, like a control terminal, to try and figure out like how would I go about getting pods down from the top?
You would already know where those terminals are because you've been on the ship for so long.
Yeah.
So yes, you can absolutely do that, and I'm going to have you try and roll for that.
Okay.
So that will be access. Oh, wait. Oh no, that's what you chose off the list.
Yeah, that's my
Oh
second
god,
choice
it's
off the
second
list.
choice off the list. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So yeah, you're able to go ahead and you've been on the ship. You're the one who kind of does maybe have a little bit of a grasp of how this ancient technology works.
Mm-hmm.
So you like get on the terminal, and it seems that there's like 2 options. There's like a kind of a lift service that will take you up to the pod, but you can also recall pods down, and there's like a system for like doing that.
Okay. Yeah, I want to go up and look at a pod.
Okay. Cool. So once you activate that, it's kind of like a strange little like hover disc. It kind of comes up out of the center of the floor, like in the middle of the hallway. There's like a little bit of a light going down it. They like similar to how you've seen like in hospitals and stuff. There's like those color lines that tell you where to go. Except it's always been the same color. But out of that, there's like some like areas where they get kind of wider. Like there's these round things that sort of look decorative. But suddenly, when you like tap on the console, this like hover disc comes out of it. It's not made of energy, but it kind of glows on the top, and then it's like silver on the bottom. And it is like completely like flat. It's like if a silver dollar or something was like that big. So it's like very thin and completely smooth.
Hovering manhole cover.
Yeah, basically.
Neat.
Yeah.
I love it.
And
Let's
it
step
kind
on
of it comes over and kind of like obviously that's what it's waiting for you to do. And just kind of very like once you step on it, like very slowly, like kind of you typed in like I don't know, I guess.
I mean, I guess I would be like, take me to that one,
Mhm.
like the nearest one.
We'll say that there's like an interface once you get into it that has like a diagram of all the pods. There's a number and labeling system, but again, it's that alphabet that all of you haven't quite figured out yet. So you're able to kind of guess and be like, well, you wouldn't guess. You're really good with math. So you're like,
Yeah, I could count
yeah,
over that many.
yeah. And so you'll tap
that
on,
one.
and it seems like it very comfortably, like it almost feels like it's balancing for you.
Neat.
And it kind of like hovers you up, and it takes you to like the foot of where the pod is.
Can I see in the pod?
There is like a screen. It's very dusty on the top of it.
Well, I didn't bring a rag, so we're just handprints all over
Oh.
the screen.
Okay. Yeah, there is a being in there. It doesn't seem like they're moving. There's not really any lights on in the pod. But they like you can see on your equipment that there is that there are signs of life and that the cryopod is still technically functioning. And this being has been there a really long time.
What do they look like?
So they have a little bit of a strange texture to their skin. Almost like trying to think of like what I don't want to like okay, this is gonna be I don't know if it's gross, but it is like chicken kind of before you cook it and it's got like that little bit of like dimpling, like almost goosebump texture. It's like that, and like a purple color. It looks like it might be some sort of exoskeleton. It's hard to see.
Okay.
So it's got like these small bumps.
Crab shell.
Yeah,
kind
sort
vibe,
of similar.
If
Yeah.
If it is an exoskeleton.
Yeah, but like a little bit more of like the bumps on it and stuff like that, like very clear patterns of these little like dots and bumps and little like raised things.
Interesting.
Yeah. And you can't quite see its feet are near you, or kind of what its feet are. It's hard to see. It is wearing some type of clothing, and it does seem to be wrapped partially in some sort of shiny material that seems to be part of the cryopods, because the desiccated remains you saw also had them in there. And you can't quite see where a head would be, so it's hard to tell.
Interesting.
Yeah, they seem to be about like average kind of humanoid size. The same as just about like the same general size and build as most of the crew.
Okay. Cool. I think I'm gonna leave them here for now until I talk to the rest of the crew. They're very tempted to like get the pod down, but a little bit afraid that that's gonna open it.
Yeah.
So, in the interest of preserving the scientific specimen, we're gonna leave it here.
Yeah, and you would know that even if they're still alive, like after all this time, like there's no way of knowing like how delicate they are or the pod or any of these things or
Yeah.
So
Okay.
um, so and now that you've kind of seen the pod, you think that it has something to do with the fact that they were up high,
Mm-hmm.
that their pods, something about that helped keep the pods at the right temperature or something, or functioning more.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's like the conduits are in the ceiling and work their way down, so the pods at the top didn't short
Get more
circuit when
energy
things
or
started.
something, yeah.
Or something. Like there's a reason that they're in the top.
Okay. Interesting. Neat.
All right.
All I know is if you find one that has a lady and a cat in it, we're going to listen to it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. What else? What are other people doing?
Jonas ran out of liquor
Oh,
from his
going to
flask
forage,
in
yeah.
the last one.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
going to
yeah.
forage around. I'm going to say that at this point, I've rooted through the stuff that we know. And it's time for me to maybe open up some rooms and see if I can find something, other supplies.
Okay.
And such. So yeah, I'm gonna say my little wrist terminal. I've got a flashlight there that I can engage. I just give it a check, and then I grab. How do we communicate with one another when we're in distances? Is it just like built into the ship, or do we have something? We haven't.
We have
I guess we have our
communicated
things.
with them,
Yeah. I just give that a check. I let everybody know. Hey, I'm gonna be. I need to find some supplies. I'm gonna wander around a little bit and maybe pop open a couple of new rooms.
Don't let the vines get you.
Oh no, I'm steering clear from those. Those don't have the supplies I am looking for.
And where's Igram right now? And their
They're in their
They're in
I-
the suite.
Okay.
Assume they're in their suite.
Okay, that's right. They're playing their game.
Listen, I'm not going that far. I'll probably hear them.
That's true. All right. So, what direction do you head? Do you head like out into these spiraling hallways, or do you head in where there seems to be these big like sections of the ship?
I'm gonna stick to the main hub because, from what I can tell, I think most of the spiraling hallways are the cryopods, and so I'm gonna say we've only gone, part way through the main hub looking for stuff because we did come with our own stuff, and once we exhausted that, we've had to find other things. So I'm just gonna go through and just again start opening up doors and seeing what I can find.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna have you. Just because I want to try and use some of the moves.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you. Actually, I'm gonna have you just like. So the first one, you go through, and you've probably gotten pretty good at opening doors here at this point. Like
Yeah.
you know the codes and things, or the sequence or whatever. Like, so the first one you go in. Why don't you describe the door to me?
Okay, sure. I think we established that did we establish that the door's iris here?
That was
can't
I was talking
remember.
about when Nolvath goes and hides in the air ducts. And
Oh, sure, that's right. Right. Okay, in this case, I'm going to say that there are actually several different doors that
Oh,
we've
that makes
encountered.
sense.
Yeah.
Some of them are just simple sliding doors,
Yeah.
psh, and it's one layer. But we have noticed that there are a couple that slide open, that part open vertically and then part open horizontally.
Blast doors.
Yeah, something. And I've gone through a couple of those that have housed supplies that we found. And I found something that was close enough to the liquor that I enjoy that I was, I ran some tests to make sure it's not going to eat me from the inside out. But it fit the bill. I'm going to say the first door that I see is one of those double opening doors.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get yourself in there.
Oh, sorry. One more thing. So, I've gotten kind of used to how the ship, like the inputs of the ship, but some of the doors, I still have to sit there and figure out like what the code
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm gonna say this one opens easily.
Okay, all right.
You go in and it's built the same as the one where you found those supplies, except the walls have what look like shelves, but like with like doors or like seals on them.
Okay.
So it's obviously some sort of storage, but it's specialized. So it's either like some sort of special environment on these shelves for whatever was kept in them, or there was some sort of security measure to keep people from getting to it, or whatever it is. So
Okay.
these would be the kind of things that were running through your mind. There's a number of reasons on a spaceship that people would have some sort of shelf that had like some sort of containment on it.
Sure, sure. Can it be that the lights don't also like just flick on brightly like this? They kind of just dimly fade up.
Totally.
Okay, cool. I'll look at these things and I can't see through them, right? Like dark through it.
No.
My first instinct is that I think maybe this is like a medical supply room. So I'm gonna do a quick scan on my wrist terminal to make sure that there's no weird radiation
No, it doesn't seem like
seeping anywhere. Okay, all right. I'll go over to one of the. Is it a manual door or does it require an input to open up?
You don't know.
Okay.
You don't see anything.
Okay. I'll walk up to one of the. I'll walk up to the nearest. No, I'll walk up to the farthest one on the other side of the room.
Okay.
Don't want it to be too close to the door.
Yeah.
And I'll try to slide it open. Slide a container
It doesn't
open.
really seem to move that way. It's very like set.
Okay. I'm gonna run my hands around the door to see if anything engages. If I feel any loose pieces of paneling that might be a button, or if anything lights up under my fingertips.
No, but when you touch it, you start feeling that it's very warm in these in these containers, whatever it is.
Huh.
Like abnormally warm. Like it's not quite as hot as like an oven.
Yeah,
Like, you know, when
yeah.
you touch the
It's
outside of an oven or something.
certainly
It's not
a
burning
temperature
your hand,
difference.
but it's a very specific temperature difference.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I'll run back to the garage, and I'm gonna go grab a toolbox.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to pop this thing open.
Cool.
You know.
We're gonna pause there for a minute.
Sure. Yeah.
Road,
Yeah.
What are you up to?
Giving myself a manicure. I think he has set himself up pretending to be inconspicuous, but nothing this man has ever done in his entire life has been inconspicuous. So he's like pretending, he's feigning inconspicuousness, but it's meant to be bait for our passengers to want to talk to him, so that he can A, keep an eye on them, and B, so that he can slowly continue to influence them. So he's sitting there and he's got like relatively long fingers with more like talons on the end and less like traditional human nails. And he's just sitting there and he's got like a buff brush, he's got a little like spinning head on it, and he's just like
Yeah.
and just giving himself a little manicure. Since there's no one else here to do it.
Right.
Normally he would pay someone, obviously. But he is just observing, listening, and trying to be the friendliest guard you've ever seen.
Okay.
Basically.
And what are you working on, Lawrence?
I think I need to eat something.
Uh-oh.
Like, I don't know. We've uncovered a kitchen area, so I think I'm gonna go try and make food.
Okay.
I don't know how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Like that's he's kind of doing that like hungry person but doesn't know what they want, like rummage through the cabinets and fridges kind of thing, and picking out various things that a person that knows how to cook would be like.
Why would you put those together?
That's going to be terrible.
We're college studenting this, is what I'm hearing.
Kind of,
Yeah.
but like with less base knowledge,
Cool.
right? Like it's like transplanting someone to an entirely foreign nation where all the boxes are labeled in a different language.
Yes.
And being like, figure it out.
I would watch that show.
Yeah.
Watch
Yeah, right.
Watch that. Okay. I'm going to focus on them for a few more minutes, and you're both like kind of doing comfort things.
Yeah.
So you've headed back to tell everyone what you found.
Yes.
Nolvath. Okay, so what like how do you make that approach?
I think they would probably come and find Road
Easy to find.
because easy to find.
You've heard this
Follow the
down
hum.
many times.
Yes, it's manicure time.
Yes.
And they kind of come in and like sit down next to you, like
Yeah.
obvious body language is like I have a secret.
And I think, like, fully just in whatever chair he's planted himself in, without stopping the manicure, just like turns, inclines an ear, just like, oh, what did you find?
We found something interesting in the freezer section.
Interesting good or interesting hide?
Unclear. Interesting asleep.
You're sure they're asleep and not, asleep?
Yes. We did a scan. Not many, but a few. What in the,
Uh-huh.
long freezer.
Yes.
But not as many as we expected, given the number that the jump authorities said their scan.
So you didn't find, what is it?
50.
3, so that's 7 plus... This should be quite a few more.
Yes. Not all accounted for in the freezer.
And it isn't like, oh, there's going to be a big spot much further down of frozen people. He is saying this fully hoping, but is petrified that the answer is definitely yes.
It's not impossible, but unlikely. The pods that survived whatever made them malfunction are at the top and few. So
Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna say that since you figured out like the cause, you estimate that probably between like 15 and 20 of the beings are like based on the data you gathered from the pods and the average of like the space and how
Right.
many. So there's probably around like 15 to 20 that are on the ring that are in pods.
So we've accounted for 27 beings, give or take.
yes.
And 6 out of 7 species.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we only looked at one of the pods, which did contain a different species from any of the accounted for ones. Unclear if they were all the same species.
So then the next horrible question that I have to ask you, friend, is where the fuck are the others?
That is the question we would like to know the answer to.
To Jonas.
There's a bang as my toolcase hits the floor.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at this thing and I'm going to say, all right. Let's see if those things I learned in flight school help me out here at all.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah, and I'll start pulling out, various sci-fi tools. I'm going to start with the analog tools first before I start with any kind of energy tools or like, oscillating tools. Sure, and I'll see if I can just grab I don't know, like a large flathead screwdriver and see if I can just open it up so I can slide or open the panel up however it opens.
Yeah, you
Whether it slides or pops out.
Yeah, it's sort of like a elongated, kind of like rounded off rectangle shape that is
Sure.
It sticks out probably half an inch, but it's almost it almost is like if you had like a sheet metal piece that was like completely fused to another sheet metal piece. So it's raised slightly. It's like it's a little bit like on top of it, so you definitely have an edge. You can get something under.
Okay.
But it's tight. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you roll prove your worth.
Okay, all right. Here we go. Let's see, and that is plus courage, which is +2.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. So that's 2 6s on the dice.
Oh!
So that's 14.
Okay, hotshot.
All right. Proving my worth. 10 plus. You do so without difficulty, and you give advantage to a crewmate. Describe what you do and how it benefits the other PC. On a 12 plus, you earn 1 trust. I'm already at my highest trust, so I don't think I have to worry about that. Oh boy. I give advantage to a crewmate and how it benefits the other PC. Oh, I'm going to give that advantage to Road. And I'm going to say that that is one more thing we know about the ship that we may be able to exploit.
Wonderful. Very good.
Because I'll report to you when I'm done here. I'll come and find you all. But yeah, so it pops open.
Yeah, like you're able to get like this. You're able to like crack the whatever's keeping it sealed in there.
Sure.
And it is almost like it has negative pressure. It doesn't like fall away.
Sure,
but it
sure.
pops open, and then kind of almost creates a little shelf. And then inside are these large kind of like oval shapes, like these rounded things.
Okay. Are they metal? Are they plastic? Are they glass?
No, they're some
Not
sort of-
sure.
They're very shiny.
Okay. Do they look organic?
They look organic.
Okay.
They look like eggs.
Yeah. I was, yeah,
And it's
sure.
obviously, like,
No
keeping-
weird slits that things could pop out of. Something would have to hatch first. But-
No, it doesn't look like any of them are hatched, and they've been there a really long time.
Here are cows.
Okay. I'm going to go, well. What did we find here? Looks like seeds aren't the only thing that might be able to grow in this here ship.
Yeah.
What are they? Just kind of like white, like what we would know as eggs, or they're different colored? Are these like gigantic space chickens that have been bred for,
I'm not telling you that yet.
bat-sized drumsticks?
They're different colors.
Okay,
Slightly.
gotcha.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying they're chickens, but you know how chickens
Yeah.
tend to lay different colors
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
eggs.
they have like
So they can
modeling
all
and
be
stuff.
from the same species,
Yeah.
but
There's variation.
like different variation.
Okay.
So they're like that. They're about like the height of like a water bottle.
They're ostrich
Okay.
eggs.
All right.
Yeah, they're
sure.
about the size
Even
of
a
an
little
ostrich,
bigger,
I guess.
even.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
they're about that. They're a little
Okay.
bit thinner.
Sure.
Um,
So like oblongish.
a little bit more oblong. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna things still in hand, tools still in hand. I'm gonna pull a glove off with my teeth. And then I'm gonna reach and I'm gonna kind of just put a couple of fingers on it and feel it. Warm.
It's warm.
So these things are being incubated.
I mean, it's
maybe.
hard to tell. It's been so long, and the incubator's just still working. It's warm.
Sure, yeah.
So you
okay.
don't know if it's warm because there's something alive in it, or if it's warm because this has been sitting here for hundreds of years, probably keeping it warm.
Yeah. I'm going to follow the suggestion of someone in the chat. Thank you, Wandering Endlessly. I'm not going to lean in to look at it, but I am going to kind of like try to press my ear to it.
Okay.
I mean, if I touch it and it doesn't start cracking, it doesn't really react, I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, nothing seems to be happening.
Okay, yeah, I'll put my ear to it and
Okay.
give it a listen.
Um,
Hear anything inside this thing?
I don't think you hear anything inside this one.
Okay, it's safe.
Dinner.
I'm gonna pull it out and kind of cradle it, almost childlike. And I'm going to whisper, all right, let's see if Larry or maybe Nolvath, maybe even Road know anything about you. Little one. And I'll grab one and I'll go ahead and close up the thing again, make sure that it seals, and grab my tools and head back to head back and look for everybody else.
Okay. So you two are sitting, manicure, whispering.
Secret.
Manicure
Road is in
whispering.
his favored terrain. Manicures and secrets.
Yes. We're gonna say that you're close enough on the ship that you start smelling this terrible smell.
Oh no.
Okay.
It's close enough to the galley that they probably are smelling
yeah,
whatever
sure.
you're working on.
The crew area we're inhabiting is probably not very big.
Yeah.
No. It's definitely close by.
Yeah. So what have you put together?
I have just been adding things. So I've made like a short-term forever stew. Like
Okay.
where I just put some water in a bowl and then I put it's like a metal mixing bowl. It's not a pot. I put that on the stove unit
Oh no.
and like I have thrown in some protein pack something
Oh God.
and various other things that are in a cabinet.
Yeah. Space
And-
soup.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it smells bad. It smells very bad.
Okay.
But maybe you think it smells good, Lawrence? I don't know.
I don't think I do, but I'm making an effort.
Okay. That's good.
That's what
Maybe
I'm
you'll go
trying to
nose blind to it, and it won't matter
It's
anymore.
inured to the scent.
Yeah.
I think I smell it before I figure out what it is, and I quicken my step towards the galley, and when I
When
come
the
in,
cows get loose again.
No, that is a different smell. Hmm.
It's not gas, is it?
Also, no. This smells like an abomination of different foods.
I think from nowhere, as Rhoda is saying it's not gas, is it you see in his hand a very small respirator. And he's just gonna hold it. He has stopped manicuring and he's just like, okay,
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Amazing. All right.
I walk through the door and I say, "Jesus, what did you kill?"
nothing, sadly.
You know what? So, what exactly are you up to over here,
I-
Lawrence?
I have become hungry,
Oh,
and I came here because all of you come here to make food, so I'm making this.
okay. I'll put my tools down on the nearest table. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna do you the courtesy of making you a meal.
Oh,
But I need you to take a look at this. I found this thing in one of the rooms.
just it's still warm. It hasn't been that long.
Oh yeah. No.
Did we have large birds on board?
Not that I know of, unless there's something about those cows that they have yet to disclose to us.
Oh,
But no, I found these things in one of the rooms in the central span. There were several of these chambers built into the walls, and I popped one open. It contained a few of these, and they did not all look like this. There were a few different varieties of them. And I walk over to the nearest vent, and I hit the negative, hit the negative pressure
sure.
setting so that the vent
it's
starts to vent.
Yeah. The hood, vent hood.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think around this point, Rode stands up, fully leaves all the manicure stuff, and just starts to walk towards the kitchen, just like, I have to know what's going on here. Voices,
Yeah.
there's a smell, there's sounds happening now.
We also have concerns.
So you walk in on a terrible smelling giant pot of stuff and a giant egg in Lawrence's hands.
I think you probably walk into me going,
Smelling the egg.
like, right,
Like a
right under
fine
my nose.
cigar.
Yeah.
Did,
As I'm pulling ingredients, I'm gonna say, "Oh, I found that
He
somewhere."
found an
did that
egg
make the
thing.
smell?
No,
Did you make the smell?
indirectly,
Oh.
I began to try and prepare food.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I completely forgot the voice. Sorry. Yes. I began to try and prepare some food, and I was not as successful as I'd hoped. But it should still be edible.
The food or the egg?
I could try both.
Ugh.
I'm gonna say, now, hold on.
It doesn't smell like it's gone off.
Perhaps we could examine the egg and take some readings of it first before anyone tries to consume it.
I think Lawrence would hold it up to the overheads to kind of. Does it
Look
look
at it.
like there's
There's
something
something
in it?
in it.
Oh,
Whether it's alive or not, it's hard to tell. But it's interesting that it hasn't like decayed in
Mhm.
there. it's still like a shape of something in there.
So what, you found this egg. Just for clarification, you found an egg.
Not just this one, there were a few of them. And I grant more that I did not get to lay my eyes on.
Potentially 7.
Perhaps the 7th. And also a good reason not to eat it.
Oh,
It may
that's
be
true.
sentient.
It might be. Mm-hmm. We don't eat
And?
sentient people.
We don't eat sentient people on the ship.
We don't eat.
Well, you're right. In the history of our time on this ship, there has
We are
not been
currently
any of
on
that
the ship.
happening. But I
Also, it might be so fermented that it might be more alcohol than food.
Or it could be poisonous.
He
or
kinda
melt
tries
you
to
from
hand
the
it back.
I know, I
inside.
look at it, well, mission accomplished in that case, I suppose. But, no, you're right, Nolvath. Do you want to take a look at it?
Yes.
I pass it over to you. I'm gonna give you the full thing. Like, here's what I found. I'm describe the room, describe the hatch, the eggs. It was warm in those little chambers, and the egg itself was warm. Is it still warm?
It seems to be cooling off a little bit.
Okay, all right. And I can certainly take you there if we need to put it back.
I'm going to clarify that eggs don't keep themselves warm.
Yes.
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so everybody scientifically knows, like,
Yes.
if you
Yeah.
don't keep an egg
No, this
warm,
is
Sure, yeah,
incubator
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Well, I
okay.
wasn't sure if it was like retaining the heat that it absorbed or if it was. It's
Yeah.
beginning to cool off. So
Yeah,
yeah.
So then there's more of these.
Yeah, quite a few. Again, I saw maybe about 8 or 10 of them in the chamber that I opened. There were a few more of these things.
That could account for the rest of the number. Will you show me where you found the egg?
Of course.
Also love to come see where this egg came
Well,
from.
tell you what, I would love to show you, but I think I need to do a little something for Lawrence here.
This is getting cold. We should put it back.
I have a hairdryer?
Is that a question?
As a suggestion to keep it. I also have a heated blanket.
That,
We have a ship exhaust.
that would work. Heated blanket.
Wonderful.
Oh, there we go.
it's in my head. It's fully like the 1950s.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Road is that kid that would fail the little. You get an egg that's gonna hatch into a chicken in what is that, middle school, elementary school?
Yeah.
Totally would have failed that. But he goes and disappears, and you know that he's gone off to his room, to his ridiculous room.
And I'll see if I can salvage the meal first, and if I can't, then I will make you a whole other thing.
sure, I will try anything.
Literally.
And I think none of you have seen Lawrence eat anything.
Not really.
Like, he's been here when you have prepared food for yourself or for each other and sat around and talked, but he hasn't.
Interesting.
You just assume that you take your meal to your quarters.
something. But
yeah.
you've never seen that happen before.
Yeah.
Something.
You never see Road cook. He does eat though.
Sure.
He does also just appear with food sometimes. So either he cooks in secret, or he only gets food when he's
Right. Yeah. When somebody's making it, he's there.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right. So, and then once you're sated,
I'm gonna try.
so yeah. What do you make? I'm gonna say I make just a stew. Same thing. Kind of something similar to what you were making.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Do I need to?
Yeah, what does it look like when you eat stew? Like do you like? It's like I keep picturing you like with all these teeth like biting into things. Like, how do you eat like soup stuff?
Just pour it in
Like,
there.
I still have a
His
face.
tongue gets sucker.
Yeah. There's another organ that like disgorges.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like a starfish. I just go, whoa,
Yeah.
and then suck it all in.
I mean, we're a space game. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Things can happen.
No. I mean, I think it's not the usual, but I think he could figure it out. Like,
Okay.
he's observed other species attempting to eat this way. I think, even though you've probably done a fine job making a stew, he's probably like showing appreciation by being like, "Oh, thank you so much."
Oh, it's terrible.
Like, it's too hot. Like, it's be better at like in the 90s, not at 120 plus. It's
Yeah.
the soupiness isn't the right consistency. It's
So it seems to me that Jonas, you're trying to connect with Lawrence. So we're going to use connect here.
Yeah.
So
Okay, all right.
When you offer support or comfort to a crewmate, first decide what you are going to offer, and then wager a trust for each offer. So there's a list there. You offer healing, knowledge, an explanation, truth, an experience, or myself.
You know what? I'm going to cook a traditional dish from my planet of New Aguinaldo. So I will offer an experience.
Aw.
Maybe, well, again, like something new for you to try. Wager one trust.
You don't
Let's
have to
see.
roll
Oh, I don't have to
anything,
roll for
yeah.
that one. Okay, all right.
So you kind of already have done this part. So how do you present these offers? You described that a little bit already.
Sure.
Together, create what happens. So you're starting to eat. So what happens as you're eating?
I think for Lawrence, it turns into like he's been trained to do this.
Okay.
So it does not appear that he's having a bad time,
Okay.
but he's having a bad time.
Oh.
But like it's very much like oh, thank you. You know, this is so much better than
Yummy
I am not a
dinner.
cook.
Oh, sure.
But this is great. I appreciate your help very much. I do.
Oh.
And I forgot the voice again
It's
in
okay.
2 minutes.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
I could not have made this.
Oh, all right. You're enjoying it?
Yes, it is helping me get by.
Yeah, it's the closest thing I could do to oxtail stew. We don't have oxtail here, but we do have some protein blocks.
Yes. I
Um,
particularly like the square shapes.
Okay, well, wonderful. And we don't want anybody. Listen, Lawrence. I know what it's like to be hungry and to have that not be having a satisfied belly not be a consistent thing in your life. And so, if you ever need anything like this, you can always come to me.
I do appreciate it. Very truly. I tend to not make meals a social activity. But
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to join more.
I would certainly appreciate that.
You all have done me a great service, and I owe all of you for allowing me to endanger all of you, even if by accident.
Well, that's not the most pressing thing we have to think about right now. If you want to sit here and enjoy that for a bit, I think that the egg is getting cold, you mentioned, right?
Road appears with a duvet, like fully just the most ridiculous plush thing you've ever seen.
Let's wrap this up real quick. Sorry, before we do that.
Oh, sure.
So,
Oh, yeah.
If
Yeah.
your offers are accepted, you get to keep your wager, and you both clear a condition equal to the number of offers they accepted. You just did one offer.
Yeah,
And
okay.
if all offers are accepted, you did one, then you both earn a trust.
Okay,
So you both clear a condition and earn a
Condition and
trust.
get a trust. Look,
I
good
did it.
shape there. All right.
You
My
did
first
it.
time.
You're all the way up.
Yes.
It's possible, everyone. Even you can do it, audience.
You can get all the trust possible on the character sheet.
And still be skeevy as hell.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you haven't been that skeevy to them.
I've been very skeevy. I have full trust.
Yes. Yeah. It will happen. Don't worry. All right.
Yeah, and then I'll show you where this thing came from.
I think when Road approaches Nolvath with the duvet, he very clearly has no idea what the hell to do with egg and duvet. He's just like, I have a warm thing. And he's just like holding it, just like,
Nolvath has been like wrapped around the egg trying to keep it warm. They don't produce a lot of body heat, but they're doing
Yeah,
their
that
best
makes sense.
while watching the friendship happen, like a creeper this whole time. So they like unfurl themselves from around the egg and pick it up and just put it directly in the middle.
The moment that you put the like weight of the egg in Road's arms, his eyes just go massive. And he already has pretty big eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And they just go even bigger. And he's holding it and he cannot move.
Would you like us to take the egg?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Yes.
And he like kind of awkwardly just lets Nolvath kind of do whatever they're going to do to take the whole
scoop
situation away from him.
Have you ever had to care for like eggs before?
He doesn't know how to do any of
Okay,
this.
okay.
He's never been around children,
Right.
let alone eggs or any. He doesn't have a single like nurturing experience practically in his entire life.
Are you an egg laying species?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just kind of assuming from your description.
Yeah,
of,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
reptile-ish with feathers.
Yeah.
You're also the youngest of your family, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Youngest
Last
of
egg to be hatched.
17.
Yep. Amazing.
Over a very long period of time. I think as we walk, also seeing Nolvath with the egg and kind of seeing that Jonas had some understanding of how all of that worked as well. He just kind of was like, so we're sure that this isn't a seed or seeds don't need to be warm, right?
Wouldn't be able to tell you. I didn't pry that much.
Some seeds, yes. It depends
yeah.
on the seed.
So maybe it's part of our big forest.
Unlikely. This has non-flora properties.
That's
And, did you share that you saw a little something in there?
Well, I mean,
With
I held it up in
everybody?
front of
Yeah,
everyone.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we all saw. Okay. All right.
Like, there's still an occupant.
yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be a mighty big coincidence if we found something that could possibly benefit us the way our new acquisitions do.
This is hopeful. I just this whole. So where, what might come out of that. Could be a person, could be a megafauna, like you like to talk about, Nolvath.
Oh, yes. We hope it is not. Those are rather ravenous and will destroy the ship and us. Almost immediately.
I would. Love is the wrong word. I'm curious to hear more about it. Maybe once we're done with this.
I'll start walking out the door and say, well, tell you what, let's go take a look at where I found this thing. Maybe you will find something else there. And then I quickly do a heel turn and then reach over and grab my tools from the table and say, I'm gonna need these.
Along the way, I think Nolvath will tell Jonas what they found in the cryopods.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably just babbling about it, like, on the way. Like, so we accounted for approximately 15 to 20 potential life forms that may be sentient and alive in the cryotubes. And perhaps the eggs will account for the rest.
Possibly. You don't think these could be from that same species, right? That doesn't make sense.
Could be.
We do not know. I did not recognize the species in the tubes.
Okay, are you gonna fill us in on like sort of what you saw in
Yeah.
there, like all the
Yeah.
way? Yeah, I'm gonna just have this thoughtful look and say, yeah, that doesn't sound familiar to me at all. I did notice actually, as we approached that door, that this wasn't your run-of-the-mill door. It's a possible bulkhead of some sort because it opens that. It's got the two different layers that open up, right? And so I punch in the code that I figured out for this door. The two sets, open up, and then the lights fade back on lightly, and I give a little bit of a genteel bow and a hand sweep for you all to enter. Are you coming with us, Lawrence?
I think like after you all started walking down the hallway, like I kind of catch up with the bowl.
Sure, yeah.
Do you still
Great,
have the mixing
perfect.
bowl?
You
Is
have
that
the
what you're
food.
eating
No,
out of?
no,
That'd
like
be really
what
funny.
he made,
a
like
real bowl.
just whatever he served it in. I'm still kind of making my way through that, but I'm like, eating is a social activity. I said I'm trying to be social.
Oh my god.
I opened that one over there. I point to the one that I opened, and I'm gonna say, do you want me to?
Not yet. I want to take some, take some scans to see if any of the eggs show actual signs of life.
It seems like they're in some sort of like stasis.
Mhm.
So like these incubators are keeping them like at a temperature to stay alive, but also like at a specific, like there's a specific set of like environmental factors that are kind of keeping them like on hold, similar to the
Okay.
cryopods.
Mm.
But they are alive.
They yes, they
Okay.
are. They can become life if they hatch.
Okay.
What if this is a lost species or something? Immediately dollar signs and
Sure.
That would be quite fascinating.
Yeah, but what would we do with this thing then? I mean, would it be our responsibility to bring this to light somewhere so that that species can be revived and repopulated?
I guess, but I'm also thinking of the spectacle of, come to our curious menagerie of cows from space and giant trees and whatever's in these strange pointy eggs.
Someone's holding the egg right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
You kind of like feel like a little bit of movement,
Okay, all right.
Uh-oh.
and you realize, well, this one's not in stasis anymore because it's been walking around the ship.
Yeah, the blanket's probably nice and warm and toasty.
Okay. I think is there like a table in the middle of the room or something?
There's not.
No?
No,
Okay.
it's like empty in the middle of the room here.
Weird. Okay.
It literally is like like if you go into like a warehouse and there's just shelves. Like
Yeah.
that's some sort of like vibe with it.
It's a hydroponics bay, but with just eggs.
Yeah.
Okay. Scientific curiosity is going to win out here. They're going to put the egg down in the blanket, like make a little blanket nest
Oh.
for it.
There's a perfectly good shelf right there.
This one should be away from the other ones, perhaps. Jonas, do you have any weapons handy? Just in case.
I have at least like a knife always strapped to my hip, like just like one of the blades that I picked up from training, from my military training. And I'm gonna say that there are also a variety of like things we can use in the toolbox.
Excellent. There is movement in the egg. We think it may hatch.
Click. I unclick the strap that's holding my blade in.
Should we be worried? Could it attack us?
It will likely be quite small and weak. Most species are when born.
That does not stop things from attacking.
No, but it does significantly change the odds of it winning.
That's true.
And there's no porthole in this, right? It's just a room, or is there like a window out to
No,
space?
there's no window.
Okay, all right.
I'm sort of picturing this as one of the interior
Sure, yeah.
containers. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Eggs don't need like a view.
Right.
If there's a window, there's a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right.
Ro just slowly starts backing up to the door.
Mm-hmm.
Do we suspect that this may be the progenitor species of the jump gates and everything else? The similar tech looks like this ship?
Ooh.
That would be very fortuitous.
If they'd be willing to share.
Or at least make bigger gates.
How did that
Anything's
movement
possible.
feel, just out of curiosity?
Oh, good question.
Like, was it something banging up against the side of the egg?
No,
Was
it
it
just
just a
kind of
little
felt like
shift?
a little bit of like a shift inside. Like,
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Let's see. Can I?
it kind of is like a little wiggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like while it's in its little nest thing, like you can all kind of see.
Oh, we can see wiggling
Just a
now.
little, like very little. Like something is
Okay.
starting to, like move or wake up inside it.
Can I do a more in-depth scan on the egg?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make you. I mean, you're right there with it. You can do a scan unless you're looking for something that your scanners wouldn't normally tell you. Like,
I guess they would be looking for like what type of life form is it? Is it like carbon based?
Mhm.
Like general characteristics of what's inside the egg, so they can kind of like guess maybe at
Yeah.
what-
No, you can get all that without
Okay.
a thing. Because you're using your own tech. You're not using
Yeah.
the ship tech. So you scan it. It is an organic being. It is living. It has. It seems to be of a like carbon based. It
Okay.
seems to be fairly healthy. It seems like it will be hatching soon. I don't know what else your scanner would give you as far as information. It does not know the species.
Okay.
It is not mammalian. It is.
Okay.
Oh man, of course I picked a thing. I don't know what the name of it is.
Cool.
Like crustacean? Like
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Huh.
Crab-like. Okay. That.
I don't know what it is. Like there's a word for it and it'll hit me like
I
I
know.
mean, crustaceans.
yeah.
Yeah.
is it crustacean? I thought there's like like the wider like
There is, but
Arthropods?
yeah.
yeah, I think
Mm,
yeah.
that's what
mhm.
I'm sort of thinking.
Okay. Okay. So it does have some similarities with the beings that I saw in the
Yeah.
tube.
In the pods, yeah. Okay.
So then it may not account for the additional species, but it may account for some of the missing 50.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
Oh, sure.
Like they
sure.
were ready for them to hatch.
Yeah.
And then put them in the tube.
Perhaps they were supposed to hatch when they got where the ship was going.
Perhaps. If you're right about this, Lawrence, this could be a momentous occasion.
If it helps, Road, if it is a sentient species and one of the ones in the tube, it is far less likely to immediately attack than if it were some sort of exotic fauna.
Less likely. There's still just a little window there that just says likely.
Yes.
Does anyone need anything? I can just gonna go for a little jaunt if anyone needs anything.
Actually, now that you mention it, maybe a good idea to get a bucket and some cloth.
Fascinating.
Bucket with some water or something, in case we need to wash whatever's coming out of that thing. It happens. Just grab a bucket of water and some towels.
I will find bucket, water, and towels. Horrifying. And he just goes.
Amazing. Okay. There's it. Wobbles.
Okay.
And then you kind of start to see like a little bit of a hairline, like
Oh, okay.
The adult you saw in the pod,
Yes.
did it have general humanoid structure? Or
Yes, approximate humanoid shape and size.
it had limbs, etc.?
Yes. Yeah, it had limbs.
And not
Right.
many?
no, it seems about normal. Like general humanoid
Yeah.
like style, yeah.
Okay.
You couldn't see its head, but
All right.
It did appear to have perhaps some sort of exoskeleton with some sort of crustacean-like bumps on the outside,
Ah,
which would be consistent with what the scanner picked up inside of the egg.
have I ever heard of a crustaceous species?
I mean, yes, there's lots of species that have exoskeletons and that kind of are like crustacean like I don't know, like you so there's
I
a
don't
lot
have enough clues yet to.
yeah, there's many options. However, the fact that they are on an ancient spaceship asleep, you haven't run into something like that.
Well, we should endeavor to make a good impression.
Agreed.
I'll go over and... Should I close the door? I mean, just in case.
Yes.
Okay, I'll go over, close the door, engage the flashlight on my, engage the light on my, my wrist pad.
Oh, good. So are we in the dark with the
Well,
egg?
it's dimly lit.
All of Road's talk of it could, and now you're alone in the dark with it.
It's not, there's some light, but it's not overwhelming.
Great.
And I go, do you think maybe I should turn this thing off and might trouble whatever comes out?
Well, the ship is equipped with not dim lighting, so We assume its eyes will be able to adjust.
Yeah, fair. All
Assuming
right.
It
All
does
right.
have eyes.
And, and again, like I've unbuckled, I've unsnapped the sort of little safety harness on my blade at my hip. I'm just gonna kind of lean my hand on the side of my hip while I squat down to see what comes out of this thing.
How close are you to the egg?
Think about I mean, like maybe there's a foot and a half between me and it. Like I'm squatting over it, watching it hatch.
Okay.
It's like somebody on a soccer field, like squatting by a soccer ball.
They're gonna let you get that close. That's fine.
Are you getting down there too, or are you gonna?
No.
Okay, all right. All right. I have a brains of -1. Okay, everybody.
Yes.
So
Jonas.
when we scanned the other containers, you said it had some sort of like specifics about what like the environment was like in there.
Yeah, to keep the eggs in kind of their like stasis.
Okay.
Like, yeah. So it was like they were. It was like the egg version of like a cryogenic.
Gotcha. Okay. And assuming the ship has the correct type of environment for
Seems
bio
like
for
it.
them
Yeah.
to exist in, so it won't immediately die. They're gonna stand a few steps behind Jonas, camouflaged.
Okay.
All of these shelves, are they fully integrated into the wall, or are there tops to the shelves in the room?
I guess there could be tops. They're very close to the ceiling, though. I mean, it's like spaceshipy. There's not like a lot of wasted space, so it's
Sure.
pretty much flush.
Okay.
It's hard to tell whether it's built into the wall or if these are built so flush that it seems like they're the wall.
But you said there was a little bit of a gap.
Around the little
Around
doors,
each
there's like a
doors, yeah.
lip on the doors, so they're slightly like high raised from the rest of the shelving.
That's all I need.
Okay.
I'll go over and I'll like latch on with a foot and a hand, so I'm like ready.
This is all happening behind me, by
But
the way.
off the
I can't
ground.
see what y'all are doing.
Such a strange couple.
Like,
So you you cling to the wall, you
Yeah.
just disappear, and I'm just like looking.
Fully Spider-Man, but like
Sure,
he's got
yeah.
clawy
Yeah.
fingers, so he just kind of hooks in and pulls himself up a little bit and wedges a foot in, so he's
Yeah.
up off the ground. That's all.
Yeah. Nolvath comes from a planet where everything's trying to kill you all the time, so we live underground. So they're like, freeze.
Yeah.
Do not see me when you first come out.
And I'm the exact opposite of that. I come from a planet where we're always trying to kill you.
Yeah.
So
The two ends of the spectrum.
yeah,
Yes.
And then there's the prey.
Yeah.
Looking through
Right.
raw materials out the ship.
rummaging through buckets.
And the door's closed when you come back. So
He's gonna be a while, frankly.
Okay,
he,
for
he
sure,
went to
fair.
go get a hover carrier. He's not gonna carry a bucket full of water.
Amazing.
okay.
So the shell kind of starts to crack a little more. Still dark in here.
This is so
I love it.
It, like wobbles and then it like kind of, and you see like a long, almost like kind of spidery crab arm stick out,
guy.
and then like another one, and then like a big like pincher comes out, but it's not big. I mean, it's like smaller than waffle,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
like yeah, and it comes out, and you see these little like eye stalks pop up.
Is it like the size of one of those coconut crab thingies? Coconut tree
It
crabs?
looks like this when it comes out.
Oh,
it is.
oh,
it's,
oh.
Oh.
It looks like a baby. If you look up a strawberry hermit crab.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So it is the cutest a crab could ever be.
Yeah.
And it's got like these cute little
stripes.
like elongated eyes. Yeah, and
Adorable.
a little bit striped. It's a little bit of a purplish color, but like a very light, like lavender. And it's got these little antennae that are kind of like around.
Okay.
I think by the time you guys are seeing legs, you just hear bang, 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 bang.
Okay. I'm gonna quickly like. I'm gonna. I guess I can't quietly shush you. I'm going to loudly shush you. You just hear. There's some coming out of this thing.
Oh, Gods!
You just hear Nolvath go, it's cute.
And I
Worse or better? Not
so
sure.
if it does it have the shell and everything?
It does not have a shell. It's
Okay,
got, so
sure.
it comes out, and then you see that it has a little bit of like a. It looks sort of like a lobster body.
Yeah.
But it's very kind of small and like not developed and very squishy.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, and so it's like like the lobster body part of it. Like
Yeah,
the front of
yeah.
it seems a little more protected. And then it kind of is like it sees you all and it sort of like pops back down in the shell a little bit. And then the banging, it's like, and so suddenly there's like tiny baby eye stalks and everything else is back in the shell.
Okay. You know what? Hey, Lawrence, what did you do with that bowl? Is it still in your
I
hand?
probably
Did you
set
put
it
it
on the
down?
ground.
Okay.
Probably set it on the ground.
Did you finish all your food?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna grab the bowl, kind of like dump out the
Yeah,
contents,
sure.
and then just very very slowly and gently.
Stops you. They put their hand on your shoulder. They're
Okay.
like,
Ugh.
let me. And they kind of like crouch down to make themselves kind of like small and like crab shaped and
Oh.
camouflage to match it. They match their color to it. So it to look like as close to what it looks
Yeah.
like as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It kind of is like, ooh, ooh. It pops out a little bit, and then you see, like it has the same little like small, like what you saw on the adults, like those little bumps in this pattern,
Oh.
kind of glow a little, and it turns like a color, and it kind of flashes a little bit, and you would probably realize as you've seen so many species, it's trying to like communicate with you.
Yeah.
So it's like these little like flashes of bioluminescence, like bumps on its what is not, it's not an exoskeleton. I mean, it is an exoskeleton, but it's still pretty soft.
Mm-hmm.
And then it looks like it's like lobster body part like doesn't get like hard. So
Yeah. So they're gonna do their best to like not just to sort of mimic back to it what the what the flashing is doing, but also like try to add in like a kind of like comforting like color scheme to just be like, hey, it's okay.
yeah.
There's a sweet moment going on.
Mm.
And from the other side, on your communicator, you just hear, is everyone alive?
I'm turning the volume down a little bit.
It goes pop back in.
Shh. I'll I'll actually key in. The egg hatched, and we're okay. We'll open the door in a second.
You just get back, fine.
I'll probably make my way over to the door.
Okay,
Like,
all right.
I can
all
go
right.
do that. while
Okay,
you're
cool.
Engaged with the baby
Yeah.
crab.
Now, little known fact, I'm obsessed with hermit crabs.
They're so cute.
I'm on like I'm on like a bunch of Reddits and Facebook groups about hermit crabs, despite owning none. Hermit crabs smell like when they're soft before their exoskeletons harden. They smell delicious to other hermit crabs and to predators. Like, they have a very strong smell. That is something that like just they will like. I don't know why like evolution had them do this because it's a bad idea,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it is.
It's like
So,
to call mama.
yeah.
Mhm.
No, because they're by themselves. They hatch and they're
Yeah,
done.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
it's I think I don't know. It's
Dinner
nature's cleanup.
time.
Like yeah.
Well, it's so we don't end up with, instead of sandy beaches, just crabby
Crabs.
beaches.
yeah.
That's
Crabby
right.
beaches,
They take care
yeah.
of each other. But so Lawrence, after eating this terrible, awful soup thing,
I get the whiff from the
you
egg.
just like it's like the best thing you've
Yeah.
ever smelled. It smells so good, so good.
That's evil.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm evil.
I can control myself.
Yeah.
Because there's other people here. So I'll walk over to the door, and I'll open the door, and I don't make eye contact with the crab the whole time. And when the door opens, I think I look at you and I say, "It's small and easily intimidated."
Well, you open the door and Road is covered in water, has a hover trolley that has not one, but 3 buckets of water, plus a shovel in his hand.
Exactly. As I said, easily intimidated. You've done a fine job.
I have the water. I couldn't find any towels. There are definitely towels that are very easy to find.
We'll be fine. It does not appear to be a mess.
All right. That was harrowing.
It still is.
Oh,
This is
Water?
I think he probably goes over and like splashes his face with water to the point where like the makeup runs a little bit.
Oh god. Oh no.
yuck.
It had started when like Lawrence left and like it's kind of started to pop its head back out like while they're in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of tries flashing colors at you again, but it seems a little confused.
Okay. I don't speak its
Yeah.
color language. Like, I think they probably are familiar with this like form of communication from their hive species interacting with other species that do this, but not obviously this specific one.
Yeah.
So they're doing their best to like convey like, friend, did okay.
It's also a baby, so
Yeah.
it probably doesn't speak its own language very well yet. So
Mhm.
True. Very true. Let's see. Could I use manipulate a being to try to like flash a color at it to get it to trust me
sure.
enough that I could pick it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's make a
Oh.
friend.
Put on gloves first.
Oh, that's a 10.
Oh, plus savvy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
On a 10 plus, choose 2. Let's see. I guess. I guess it would be they provide an opening or leave themselves vulnerable, like trusting me,
Mm.
I guess.
Yeah.
And then, maybe, could I do the will give you a piece of information, like maybe I managed to like find the right sequence for it to be like, oh, okay, so I like learned a little something about how to like convey something to it.
Yes. We'll see that you kind of like I feel like even your own species, like because octopi, like they kind of communicate a little bit through that too. So you're in the same like general type of language. It's like if someone speaks French and someone speaks Spanish, there's like, oh, there's a little bit of crossover.
Yeah, I'm gonna get like a word right here.
Yeah,
and there.
like randomly you're gonna get like something close. So we're gonna say that what word do you want to get right?
What's your suggestion?
Can I pick?
Yeah, you could pick.
Okay, I think you're gonna be trying to send comfort. You're actually gonna send accidentally. If you're okay with it, you're just uncomfortable with that. I totally understand. Like parent.
Oh no, I love that.
Okay. And they suddenly they come right out and they like sit and they look like they're waiting for something.
Oh.
And they kind of wave their little crabby, they're kind of like the give me.
Oh, probably hungry.
Oh.
Are there any food scraps left that you didn't finish your meal,
I mean,
right?
it's on the floor. It can reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll well, first of all, I'll check with you, Nolvath, and I'll say, so hey, what do you know what it wants?
We think it is probably hungry.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
Should I bring a cow?
That may be too large to begin with.
Well, obviously, I could take a piece of the cow.
We have rations.
Provided. Yeah, but the rations are for us. They are not things that we found on this ship.
What about the cows?
Well, obviously they were here for some purpose of the species that built the ship.
True.
And I've yet to meet a crustacean that farms for milk.
crustaceans are generally omnivores, like scavenger species, yeah? So,
Is there a visible mouth on this thing?
I mean, like,
What has the little palpy?
Yeah,
Little-
there,
Okay,
yeah.
all right,
It's
all right.
in there.
I guess Nolvath's just gonna, like, grab, like, a handful of whatever's in
Yeah, I'll
this
slide the
stew
bowl over. Yeah.
and, like, offer it
Okay. So you slide the
to
bowl
the
over?
baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it immediately goes on top and starts doing the like crabby like
Yeah!
with its little things waving like happily and its little like elongated eyes like on stalks. And it just eats and eats and eats and eats and eats all of it. And then when it gets to the bottom of the bowl, it like flips the bowl over and tries to start putting the bowl on
Yeah.
It's like
Wants shell.
I have buckets.
or something.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Actually, I think I might need one of those. I'm gonna run over, grab a bucket. Maybe like distribute the water in the bucket onto the other bucket, so we have an empty or almost empty bucket.
Yeah. Temporarily, that may be a bit large, but we can give it a try.
I'll
Rhoda
set it
is
down.
watching mystified because he has no idea how any of this works.
Yeah, I'll set it down. Yeah. I'll see what this thing does with it.
Okay, it does the thing where it looks at the bowl, and it looks at the bucket, and it looks at the bowl. It puts the bowl down and goes over to the bucket, and like gets in the bucket and tries to like pop itself a little bit out of the bucket,
Uh-huh.
and like pull itself along, but the bucket's kind of dragging.
Yeah.
But it's like better than a bowl.
We have a sentient bucket now.
That we do.
Well, it's not trying to eat any of us.
Oh, my blanket. Covered in egg and
Yeah.
goo. I'm-
Hatching stuff all over it.
But yeah.
He's like, oh, that's cute. My blanket.
You do notice too, like its shell's hard or its exoskeleton's hardening a little
Okay.
bit. So it looks like it'll probably take like a day to fully harden. But it is still a much lighter color than the one you
Okay.
saw up in the crab tubes. If it's the same thing, they're built very differently. This is like built like a little crab.
Yeah, that's a crab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does the egg remains smell good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Don't eat my blanket. Do it. Do it, I dare you.
Inhaling a duvet. I'll go over and like scoop up the egg remains and hold them.
Thanks for the help. As like he's actually
Fine.
trying to shake everything out of this duvet, and you come over and take the shell pieces, and he's just looking at where there's like gotta be egg goo.
Well, like I tried
Yeah.
to scoop up with some of the shell, you know, like kind of
Yeah.
like you do when you accidentally drop an egg when you're
Oh, yeah,
cooking.
you're
You're
like,
like,
Treating it like
Oh,
chips and
hold on.
salsa or something like that.
yeah, just yes, 100%. I'm just gonna be like, as soon as no one's looking, it's very much.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Good for him. Little egg and dip.
Amazing.
There is only one in the shell, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I would check.
Yeah,
Before
no,
I
no,
start
no.
munching away.
Is it still like crawling around the floor?
A little bit. It seems to like get close to Nolvath and then like sit and wave its antenna and flash colors.
I think they'll continue to pay attention to like the color flashing to try and like, eventually figure out what it's trying to communicate.
You'll eventually figure it out.
Yeah.
This is gonna take forever to clean. He says to the bucket.
Now that we've seen this thing, does it look like the design aesthetic of the ship is made for these? Like manipulated with claws instead of fingers?
No. I mean,
Huh.
some sort of like there are like maybe their claws like could move things like things
Sure.
like that.
I mean,
But
they could
it
poke
definitely
at buttons
yeah.
or whatever, but
But it's definitely like made for like it could have worked for humans. Like you can all use it
Mhm.
well. So
Well, looks like we found ourselves another mouth to feed. I thought 3 passengers was enough.
Well, technically we are in their home
Is it from here?
from the ship.
or is it just a biological sample collected?
Fascinating. Maybe there's different ones.
I would presume there are different ones. These came in a variety of colors. I mean, the eggs did at least.
But what if there's other species?
That I wouldn't be able to tell you. I only opened one of these little chambers.
Does the chamber close again?
Oh yeah. No, I made sure it was. I made sure it was shut.
Yeah. Okay. It doesn't do it, like automatically, but if you
Yeah.
close it, it stays.
Okay.
Well, the next one doesn't get my duvet.
I don't know. You think we should hatch more of these things?
Not now.
No.
We should live with this one for a little while first.
They might take over if we hatch many more.
I very much would like to see the adult that you found.
Yes. We can show you.
Should we take? That's a pretty cute little little thing down there. I kind of like to look at it. I give it a good look now that the shock of this thing hatching has worn away. I'm a little bit endeared by it just sitting by your feet.
You're human. You will make anything cute and human.
Yeah, this is
Feelings
very
on
true.
anything.
Yeah. Maybe if you do take a look at it, this little one shouldn't go with you.
No, I agree.
And someone has to keep an eye on our passengers that aren't this.
I haven't gotten any alerts that they've tried to leave their quarters.
Okay.
Useful. We'll have to go dry off.
I understand.
Toss your duvet in the wash.
It's going to take so long to clean it.
You gonna be sleeping in that thing tonight?
I'm supposed to, but not if it smells like this.
It smells like science.
Poor Lawrence.
Wicked clean.
Just in the night, you hear weird banging in the laundry room, and you come in, and Lawrence is just like,
Eating the duvet.
So do you two want to take a look at the pod now, or do you want to wait a little bit?
I can wait. It's been there for heavens knows how long. We can wait until we deal with our passenger situation first.
Yes, to not add another passenger situation on top
Correct.
of the passenger situation and this new passenger situation. Maybe we keep it to 2 problems instead of 3.
Ideally. I'm in agreement with that. I didn't even realize this was going to be a thing.
Have we locked in our first set of passengers with an agreement?
That was another concern that I had today, not this.
Yeah, that's right. You haven't given them that contract that you drafted
I
yet.
have not.
Okay.
I'm happy to help with that.
Wonderful. I'm not delivering a contract looking like this.
No, I can understand. They'll probably ask if we have swimming facilities.
Ah! Just starts walking.
The insult.
Actually, if I put a bucket of water by our little new friend, do they react to it? Like, do they want to be in the water?
I mean, they
Or
kind
not
of like
particularly.
go over to it and kind of like poke at it a little bit.
Okay, all right. But they're perfectly fine out in the on the surface of the ship. Okay, all right. I think maybe we should go to maybe we should hit the galley again and see if this little critter wants something more to eat.
Certainly.
Okay, all right.
I'll come along.
Okay. And Road, you've already stormed.
Yeah, you can hear him going down the hallway, step, thunk, because he's walking with the shovel like it's a cane.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I guess we go see if this thing wants anything more. Maybe we'll try out a few different things,
Yeah.
like
It follows you,
raw fruit, raw vegetables.
and it kind of like kind of dragging. It makes a little bit of a scraping noise as the little bucket goes, but it's able to keep up pretty well, actually. And anything you put in front of it, it eats just about anything.
Okay, all right.
Like it's not like gonna eat like people or anything like that. It's not like a
Sure.
dangerous feeling, but it's
Okay.
just
Not
like,
picky.
But like
Oh, like
voraciously?
oh, I'll eat this. Oh, an old banana peel. Okay, I'll eat that. And like literally,
Yeah,
like
grab
anything.
stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, we still have a bowl of the stew I made.
Sure.
We can get rid of it
it'll
somehow.
100% eat all
It
of
just
it.
eats it. Now, so yeah, does it eat voraciously or does it eat like kind of casually
Instead
and
of eating like
Okay, all right.
crap eating.
Crap-
so I don't-
okay,
crap paste.
sure.
There's not a lot
Yeah.
of like emotion with the eating there. It's like
Sure. Okay. All right. It's not like ravenous. All right.
No,
That's
no,
that's a
no.
good
It
sign.
it does its little
That's
like
a good sign.
sort of dainty like claw eating thing. where
Yeah.
just
It's
do
like picking it apart.
that.
Yeah.
Do. There are definitely things it likes more than other things. So if you like, if anyone's ever seen a toddler, it's like, oh, all the stuff you like has disappeared, and all the stuff you hate is there, and so now we get to finish this. Okay.
Okay.
But it doesn't seem to really hate anything. But it definitely like has things that it like really likes, like those cube things, whatever that is. It really likes that. It will.
Little
If
protein
there's
cube.
bones in it, it will like start picking at the bones a little bit with its claws.
But it doesn't eat the bones.
I mean, it's like breaking off tiny.
Oh, it is
tiny
breaking off tiny pieces
yeah,
of the bone. Okay.
Of the bone a little bit.
Oh. Oh. Okay. All right.
Like it's having a little bit of trouble because its claws aren't quite completely hard yet. But it, yeah, you get the vibe that like, yeah, if it's sat there, like once the claws are hard, like if it's sat there long enough, it could sit and pick away at these bones and eventually have them be gone.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
How much more time do we have before we get to Lost 2? Or to the jump point?
I'm gonna say this is like the end of the second day, so you're gonna be arriving like tomorrow.
Okay.
Does,
All
it
right.
seem, does that feel right to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Because you like had some bike time, and then now they did this, and
Mhm.
Yeah. Rode
Okay.
spent the entire first day writing.
Yeah.
And then today preparing to deliver the contract, and then this happens, and I have to prepare again.
Uh-huh.
Nolvath is just like noting like which things it likes to eat, and like I guess probably we'll spend the rest of the day unless anybody distracts them with anything, like getting our new little friend settled, and like I'd probably take them to the like the indoor forest and see like what area of it likes to like
Oh,
hang
God.
out in.
yeah.
Not where the cows are.
No, yeah.
No.
Yeah, it climbs.
Ah.
It gets in there. And fun fact, hermit crabs like love to climb. They are made to live in forest areas, and they literally like climb the trees, and they like live in the trees. So this thing, like, it gets in there, and it's like a little kid like
gosh.
getting to a playground. And it like starts climbing. It's having a little bit of trouble again because it's not completely
Yeah.
hard, but like climbs up the tree using its claws and its little pokey legs, and like hangs upside down. And it's trying to keep the bucket on it, but it's just like climbing all over the trees, just having a good old time.
I'm also gonna look for something that fits better than the bucket.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. If
We
you have
gotta
something
have,
like
like,
organic in particular in
something.
that forest, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen them tons of time before, but there's actually these like big seed pods on these trees, and you see like as it goes up there, it like notices one, and it's like going to pick, and it like picks one about the right size, and it kind of does it like it kind of breaks it open, and it does the thing where when you break open the seed pod, the seeds stay on one half, and the other half is just kind of like an open. It's sort of similar to a walnut shell, but a little bit more closed than that.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it like drops the bucket. You hear, it falls like a story, and then it puts on the little like wooden type shell
Yeah.
on there, and that seems to be like what they're for.
Excellent. Okay.
That makes it a lot faster too.
That makes sense. That this type of tree is here because it has the right size pod for the shells.
You know what? So while you're doing that, I'm gonna take you aside, Lawrence.
Mhm.
And I'm going to. You're eating the thing.
Yeah.
I turn around and I'm like, I guess that's all right. Like, I realize you're eating, and I'm like, I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I process it.
Sure. I probably was distracted and just was eating it.
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
Like you put something good next
Yeah.
to somebody and they're just not paying
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
Or
It's like
whatever.
when you're at a restaurant, they put the chips and dip in
Yeah,
front of
yeah,
you, and you just don't even think about it while you're
and
munching.
suddenly you've gone through what would be 3 bags of chips at home.
Right. Yeah.
You're like, oh, what did I do?
I'm gonna turn to you, and I'm going to say, now concerning our other passengers, I don't think they should know a thing about this.
I have no intention of letting them
Yeah.
meet our newest crew member.
They want to meet our little tree crab, but we say no, no, no.
I agree.
You're fired. All right.
Actually, hold on. Nolvath, did you tell us you're going to go to the biome and the tree biome? And
Probably.
okay, all right. So I think if that little critter is happy there, we want to make sure that our tree friends don't go wandering around in that direction, poking their noses wherever they, in places they shouldn't be.
Oh, I agree. I think it shouldn't be difficult to keep them busy. They'll have probably hours of business negotiations coming soon.
All right, yeah, you're right. And Road will probably be able to keep them occupied until we reach last two. We don't have much longer on this jump.
We should probably prepare something for the business meeting.
Oh, you mean a meal?
Or beverages, a light snack,
Ugh.
Danishes.
When you say beverages,
Just out of character, Danishes.
So funny.
Okay, I'm just gonna pause and just like revel in the fact that the game is doing exactly what I want, and people are talking about Danishes on a spaceship. This is what I wanted
Space.
and intended. All right, continue.
the space continental breakfast.
Yeah.
When you mention beverages, I'm like, oh, damn it. I still haven't found anything to drink.
Oh God.
Let me take care of that aspect of things, of the hospitality aspect of things. Because I don't think you're quite equipped for it socially, and Rhodes certainly isn't equipped to.
No, I'm happy to assist. If you need someone to find things, I can look or carry.
No,
whatnot.
I'm gonna say no. Keep an eye on our Askesian friends. I'll handle the looking. Don't you worry about that.
All right.
And I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna turn around, make for the door, and then do that same heel turn and grab my tools,
Yeah.
and then walk off to find another room to pop open.
Okay.
I'm gonna mumble to myself, "Oh God, I hope I don't find another chamber full of eggs."
Well, to kind of prevent that from happening, we're gonna say that you're looking for some sort of alcohol.
Yeah. For me, not necessarily for everybody. When he mentioned it, I realized that I hadn't found it for me yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not actually going to find stuff for this meeting.
If I find stuff, great. If I find like one bottle of something that I can
yeah.
put in my flask, that's for me.
Okay.
Just gonna put it out there. You do know that Road has a pretty deep store of wine and liquor.
I need the harder stuff. I
know.
think your stuff is a little refined. So if we have to,
He's had to scrape by a little.
Oh, that's okay. True. I'll say we'll save that
Yeah,
for
just- You would know.
Okay. Fair. True. Yeah.
We're gonna say that you kind of are a little more careful this time. You stop looking for blast doors, and so we're gonna say you find something smaller that has, it has some basic storage stuff. Seems like it might have had food at one point. Obviously, that's all gone. Like it's become little piles of sort of dirt now. But there are some bottles of something. I don't know what it is.
Okay. All right.
It's there.
Good enough for me. I'll if I find like a case of it, I'll close the case and I'll start dragging that to the galley just to see what we can make of it.
Okay, perfect. All right. Little Krabby's like climbed and now kind of tired and coming back down
Mm-hmm.
in his new little shell.
Nice.
Change clothes into different business clothes.
Yes, of course.
We're no longer wet. And I think at this point, he, having remembered that he had a purpose to his day that wasn't just a manicure and a sly listen, has under his arm like a tablet. And he looks very like, I'm here for the business meeting.
Okay.
So official looking.
Yeah, he looks very official, which is very strange because our ship doesn't have the vibe that he is giving off at all. He looks like he should be in an upscale, like, skyscraper, and we are in a strange ship in the middle of hyperspace.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, describe like how your approach. Should we have a meeting room set up, or?
I think he would go and check in with everybody and say, like, okay, I have the contract. If anyone would like to read it over, fantastic, but I'm not sure any of you have any other expertise in interstellar commerce.
It's a blank stare for me.
Nolvath is focused on crab.
It's glowing. It's glowing.
Like-
It's happening.
They have named the crab, by the way.
What is his name?
His name is Tavrock, which means small friend in
Oh, perfect.
their language. It's like a term of endearment you would say to like small ones from your hive.
Cute. It's so
Yeah,
good.
I love it. Tavrock.
So you've noticed also like Tavrock, it seems to be like it's subtle, but like the brighter the color is, like that means like good feelings. But also there's like shifts, so you can have like a blue that then glows brightly. So there's like some sort of combination of things.
Okay.
So
Combination of brightness and color.
and color and hue.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Where do you think is the most refined place away from frightening
Cute.
cute? Where should we take our interlopers?
I'm gonna say, you know what? There is an observation deck above ship control.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Um,
Nice view. Really puts home the whole we're in deep space, so if you don't do what we ask you, there's other places you could go.
yeah, precisely. I mean, you're the one that is savvy with all of this. I'm just gonna be there for I don't know, insurance, safety, I suppose.
All of those things. And you as well, Lawrence. Yes, you'll be there
I
to
will happily attend.
just remind them that there are consequences to actions.
No one has ever been recovered from a jump space EVA.
Yes, keep keep that just in your pocket, though. Let's not start there.
No, I will await your signal.
And I'm gonna turn to you, Nolvath, and I'm gonna say, now, Nolvath, Lawrence and I did talk about this. We think we should keep little Tavrock there. And when you mention the name, do you mention the name? You do mention the name to everybody?
I think they just casually start referring to the crab as Tavrock.
Oh, okay. All right. Tavrock? All right. It's a good one. I'm gonna give it a little pet on the eye stalk, I guess, if that's comfortable for it, or wherever
It kind
it'd
of
be
like,
comfortable
the
to
eye
pet.
stalk kind of goes away, and it kind of like puts out one of its smaller claws.
Oh, okay. All right. Pleased to meet you.
Well, no, like I guess if you shake it, it kind of is like
Yeah. It's just a playful little thing that I do.
Yeah.
Little, pleased to meet you,
it is
Tabby.
a thing where it's like it like toddler puts another crab, another.
Sure.
yeah,
I love it.
on
I love it. We think it might be in Tavrock's best interest that our other passengers don't see them.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Especially if they're rare and more than just a bucket denizen.
There are, however, two species on this ship that they're not immediately poisonous.
Oh,
We are now aware.
that's fascinating.
Would you like to find out?
Maybe later. Maybe after the negotiation, in case maybe I swell up or something.
That is
All right. So we'll figure out a time to meet over at the observation deck.
Yeah.
I'll prepare a few things, like some light, like little mini protein cube canapé things.
Yeah.
Too thick in it.
Yeah. And I'll pop through some of the bottles and just give them a scan to make sure they're not poisonous, that I'm not going to get alcohol poisoning if I take one sip of this stuff. And then kind of just sniff them, try them out. Are any of them palatable?
I mean, you don't know really what they are. I mean, they're in a bottle.
Could be just
When you
vinegar.
scan it, it tells you it will not kill you.
It won't kill me. Okay.
It doesn't. You don't know what it is. Like,
It won't kill me.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take a
That's
sniff.
right.
I'll just take a mouthful, gulp it down.
it's
Oh, boy.
rough.
Is it
but
like Malort rough?
Oh God.
I feel like maybe yeah. I mean,
Rambouillet
there are people who
Malort.
like Malort, so
Yeah, yeah.
it tastes
Is it like syrupy?
no, it's
Like thick?
very it's
Abrasive.
yeah, it's very abrasive.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
It's
Transmission fluid.
yeah, it's more on
just
that,
drinking straight
that
ethanol.
vibe.
yeah. Well, if it's
But
not gonna
you
kill me, I
definitely,
guess I
like-
don't know if it's gonna make me go blind.
Yeah,
but-
it's got a kick, and they're like, but it you kind of feel it hit you like alcohol. So.
Okay, I'll pull my flask out and just pour a little bit in there, and then I'll pour little shot glasses of them and have them waiting at the observation deck.
By the time you show up to the observation deck after checking your bottle, Rode is already in there and has specifically been like standing around the table and looking at the chairs and like looking at something on the floor and like lightly scooting the chair just a little to the right or left. Just going through and very clearly, meticulously staging this room.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna get dressed too. By the way, I'm gonna like clean myself up. I've got a little mirror in the garage. I'll look at it and I'll be like, "Wee-hoo! I look just like Buddy Holly." And then I'll walk up and meet you.
Oh, you brought.
I would take time to go fix the water makeup.
Okay, yeah.
I forgot.
You got all done up and came for a party, it looks like.
Oh, I thought this was the standard business attire. I did not want
It's
to.
not about your attire. You brought. What's in that?
the drink.
Yeah.
A lot of kick. I'll pour you. I'll pass one to you.
Perhaps after.
Oh yeah. You do want your wits about you. Of course. I'll put it closer to their spot. Where do you want me to?
Why don't you that chair and that chair and that chair, and points to chairs that are not next to each other.
Sure. Done. Think, and and I'll leave the rest in the middle of the table.
And all of the chairs are pointing at the view window, purposely with the chairs that he has clearly selected for them, with their backs to the door.
Okay.
Would you like me
Road's
to
good.
remove the feet from their chairs?
I actually think the feet are an important feature here, though. Will you do me a favor and make sure that there are no gas signs underneath that chair?
Certainly, I'll try. I'll go see if I can find like an access panel or something,
Okay.
and look.
Yeah,
Do we use gas on the ship?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, not that you've ever found before.
I wasn't concerned about it until right now.
You would notice,
Pressurized
though, that
oxygen or anything
if
like
you
that.
go
yeah.
into an access panel, Rhoda has positioned the other chairs over what he thinks are like big, thick pipes that might be gas lines.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna see they're actually like kid, you don't have any.
No, he has
Okay.
no idea what he's
Okay.
actually doing.
They're actually like giant like conduit type things.
Sure.
But
Sure.
they're
Electrical or
yeah,
data
something else or
yeah.
whatever the ship uses. Because you haven't figured that out yet. So
Clearly
Yeah.
found what he thought were the largest pipes through like a grate that he's like, that one goes there and there. And so he has put them over large pipes in the floor.
I could mark them as hazardous lines if that would help.
I don't anticipate them actually going in there,
Ah, all right.
but I want them to wonder.
I like that. I kind of close up the access panel and feeling satisfied. Like, this is going to be interesting.
All right, I think I'm prepared. Just look menacing. Maybe look less friendly for a moment, Lawrence. You're Lawrence. Jonas.
I pop my collar.
I said less.
And then I stand back, by the door.
Maybe where you're from, they find charming less friendly.
I'll just kind of I'll do the bad boy like pose by the door where one leg is up, and then I'll tilt my head down and kind of like look from the tops of my eyes, look around like
Cowboy
from the top.
pose.
Yeah, exactly.
Space Marlboro Man.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'll just hang by the door that way.
Is there a specific seat I should be in?
Any of these are for them, and that one, and he points to a chair that is not next to the table whatsoever, but has been pushed away from the table. That one's mine.
Right.
So sit anywhere else you'd like. You're plenty disquieting all on your own. You don't need to pose.
Well, I'll sit down in the chair and then just like let a huge smile just be like
Maybe if you look towards them. Look towards
like looking at the door, like where they'll come in, just like happy, like, oh,
Terrifying.
this is a happy occasion. Please come in. I think he tries to pick a seat that you left like underneath a light.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pop, like, under
Yeah,
shadows
highlight,
and
yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I'm glad we can do business.
Amazing. Yep, right. Do you escort them there? Do you just summon them?
I think he
Didn't even think
I
about it.
think he goes and gets them.
Okay.
And he shows up and just like lightly knocks on the door, just like, oh hello.
Oh, hello. Is it... You'd mentioned something about some paperwork?
Yes, we wanted to discuss our little arrangement.
Oh, yes. Wonderful.
Why don't you come with me? We have a little meeting area.
Oh, lovely. We were getting a little bit cooped up, honestly. And, like, they kind of wave and their friends come and they stand.
Well, I wouldn't go wandering too far. You know, this ship is full of mysteries and strange creatures.
Ooh.
Not the fun kind.
Oh.
We're all very robust, you see. We
Yes.
encounter them every day, including today,
Oh,
actually.
my.
But why don't you follow me up to the viewing bay?
Oh, yes. All right. And they kind of, like, hover behind you, like, for protection.
He strides like full chest
Yeah.
popped out.
Oh, my.
And walks them up
Yeah.
there. And purposely is walking quickly.
Okay. They kind of... They're walking quickly, but, like, still kind of doing the gliding thing. Oh,
Yeah.
my.
He wants them to feel a little off pace.
A little bit.
So he's got long legs. He's like over 6.5 feet tall or something
yeah,
stupid like that. So he's just like long bird walking.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to keep up, but not. They're getting a little like wobbly because they're not able to glide so effortlessly.
And wants them to kind of have to enter a little bit on their own. So he doesn't stall at all when he gets to the door.
Okay.
He walks straight to his spot at the table and pushes the chair back even further dramatically.
Okay.
And then puts his hands on the table.
So they first walk in the room and then they all just like and they freeze. It's space.
Yes.
Space, and they're just like. And they're just like giddy, like so excited. Like they kind of saw a little bit of it and like, but they were supposed to be in their room the whole time.
Yeah.
They're just very excited to see space.
Yeah, my shoulders are like behind them if they've entered. I'm by the door, so my shoulders are just shaking a little bit. And I'm trying to just keep it cool. Trying to keep it cool.
Okay, you say it out loud.
Yeah. You did this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, it just popped into my head as soon as you had that reaction. I just, in space, no one can hear you squee. That's the way
Amazing.
my brain works.
That's the title of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfection.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Okay, so anyway, they're there. Squee, very excited. Okay, we're in space. This is such a great room. Thank you so much for bringing us here.
Yes, I thought it would be a wonderful viewing experience.
It's so amazing. Why is it all like blurry weird?
Oh, because we're traveling at extreme speed in hyperspace using the jump gates. Did you
That's
know that the
amazing.
exterior, you can't even go out there in a spacesuit without risking life and limb?
It's amazing. It's just all just amazing.
Yes, we live such perilous lives, you see.
You're all so brave. Like this ship with like all the dangerous animals that you mentioned, and then also like inches between you and the dark void and death of space.
Yes, we're
I
just...
feel like I should write a poem about it.
You might want to. If I may. And he motions to the seats.
Yes, thank you so much. They can like sit very gracefully.
And he puts a very like aggressive clawed hand down on the data pad and just like turns it around to their leader Igram.
Mm-hmm.
As we've arranged, this would be the signed away rights for the one seed that you've offered us, plus a conservatorship and ongoing stakes indefinitely into your endeavor.
See. So what are stakes exactly?
Oh. Well, you see, with our deal, we actually intend to send the seed with you to your destination on last two. And there you can cultivate it with all of the others, so you're not losing any of your beautiful property.
I see.
But any profits that you might gain from the collective lot, you could just consider ours a little 18% of that.
Oh, I see. So 18% of our planetary GDP eventually?
Yes, eventually. Obviously, you're a ways off. And of course, we support you in all of your doings. And we'll send a liaison to just help you oversee things. And should anything come up for your needs, we would then, of course, also be participating in your flourishing new society.
I see. They start speaking like in their language to each other.
Mhm.
And there's like a little bit of like a shift of like, oh yeah, this is such a great room, and now business. So unfortunately, the ongoing deal, like as much as we appreciate how much you've done for us, it's absolutely just so brave, so fantastic, and you were all just leaving such amazing lives. But no matter how, if you really start to quantify the risk that you took, and that, especially once we got past the jump gate and we weren't actually followed and that we know of, or any of those things, the real risk versus the reward of a planetary, like 18% of a planetary's entire economy seems
Well, not the entire
slightly
economy, just
irrelevant.
benefits from the tree in particular. And you'll find that we also have other information that would make it far simpler for people to, say, find where we've gone.
Well, yes, but once we're there and once the trees are planted, we'll be in a much more secure situation because it's also not allowed to kill any trees. So once they're planted, our parents, well, they might be able to take us back for a time. The trees will be there waiting for eventual civilization.
You think that they can't just come and pluck up the trees and bring them back?
Oh, they would be breaking many what do you call it, taboos if they were to uproot a tree.
But it's a tree not on your homeworld, you see.
Yes, it's funny. If you never plant a tree in another homeworld, you never start making rules about where you can and cannot uproot trees. You're just not allowed to uproot trees.
Fascinating.
So, we would be willing to give you 18% of the original 3 trees, and what could be derived specifically to be profit or economic growth from those 3.
Absolutely, and they're seedlings indefinitely.
Well, that's going to be an exponential growth. Again, starts very much outweighing the cost or the risk to yourselves for this particular trip, especially if you factor in the large amount of payment you've already received.
Fascinating. So your proposition is that even though you vastly underpaid us for this secure transport to a planet where we are carrying your illegal goods, where no trees have yet been planted, that you would rather actually not make good on your promise
On our promise?
that we get one of the seeds.
Well, you may have the seed. We never agreed upon us cultivating or raising such a thing for you. If you would like to come and be on Lasty with us and plant it and raise it yourselves, you are welcome.
And at this point, Rode looks to the other two in the room, kind of rolls his head.
I peel myself off the wall, and I walk over to. Well, I'll walk over to Ingram's chair, and I'll just kind of lightly put my hands on the seat back, and I'm gonna give you a look like I'm just gonna give you like a very obvious nod, like, do we want to do something about this?
I think with a final, just like, I think he would like to try and just be like, you see what I see here, Igram, that my friends here are also, but just like all with his eyes.
Okay.
Just trying to kind of like gauge how entrenched in this particular plan he is.
Okay. Why don't you roll manipulative being for me? That's plus savvy.
Yeah.
I want to help.
Okay. You have a thing to help?
Well, let me find out.
Okay. Now, if they roll badly, you can roll assist and like help them.
Right. That's what I'm prepared to do. I
Okay.
guess. Yeah.
Okay. Eight.
What combination?
What?
What combination of 8?
5 and a 1.
I can probably help then. I think, like, as you glance at Lawrence, he just reaches a hand up and, like, wraps nails on the tabletop and makes, probably for the first time, makes direct eye contact with Igram and is like... like, the smile slowly fades, right? Like, it was creepy looking, but then, like, it fades away and it's just a stare. Just...
It'll look like like before you get eaten by a lion. Like
Yeah.
Like, it very much has the feel of, like, please run.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I'm not stuck in here with you.
So you just roll one die. Or yeah.
Right.
So they accepted your help. So you roll one die.
Oh, I had to wager trust.
Oh, yeah, you wager one trust.
Yes, I'm doing so. Okay. Got it. All right, here's the die. I missed the die tray and it's a 1.
All right. If you didn't improve things, both of you mark XP and you've lost your wager. So you're down one.
Yeah.
You had one shining moment.
That wasn't going to last long anyway.
I'm going to say that even though you meant to be intimidating, your smile was so creepy that it's actually a tiny bit of a relief when you start looking seriously like you're just angry at them.
I think also you would see, Lawrence, that you know what it looks like when someone actually would cause harm. Rode is all talk to the point of, like, there's actually fear that he would have to take any further steps past this.
Right. Which is 100% what I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
Like, when you get to that point and you can't take another step,
Yeah.
that's where I begin to walk.
Yeah. But I do get an 8.
Okay. So on a 7 to 9, you pick one off that list.
I think what he's looking for is where their give is. So I will say they will give you one piece of information.
Okay. As they're talking, future economies of planets are not something I did in pre-planning.
No, it's big plan.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
wow, that's a big plan. They're talking, and you just kind of sense like for a moment that like, yeah, they're pretty sure that they won't rip up these trees, but they're also like they give it away when they're like, it's never been tested, like they don't have laws specifically about that. Like that flips either way. There's no laws that you can do it, but there's no laws that you can't either. So they're kind of betting on, well, this is the norm on my planet. They're already kind of feeling like Lestu's going to be like their planet, and you can tell that that's very naive of them.
Yeah. Listen, I can tell that you're very invested in this venture. Let's do this. I don't want you to sign anything you're uncomfortable with, obviously. Not a monster. But...
They look over at Lawrence when you say that.
But I'm interested in an investment paying dividends. And frankly, you all know how to grow these trees. So let's do this. We'll keep your nice secret. And we'll take 5%. And Rode looks around the room at the other two that are here.
I'll give you a very slight nod, like, I'm okay with 5%. Like a GDP, yeah.
Plus 1% for our agent.
Yes. Plus a little maintenance fee for our agent, say another 1, so 6%. Of just from this tree.
Yes.
Seedlings and this tree. You'll have to track the lineage. It'll be a new, fruitful endeavor for your new world.
Oh, we very carefully track the lineage of the trees.
It shouldn't be that difficult.
They pull out a tab and they like start tapping on it, and it like pulls up what is like 3D math that is sort of in the shape of a tree.
Weird.
Super weird. But they do kind of, you can see them like moving numbers around in like the little hologrammy thing, and they move things off. And then you do see that they actually do like the math of, okay, one tree, and then they figure out exactly how many seedlings it would drop, of the seedlings how many would grow, and you see like a little like family tree of this future tree, like a prediction of it. And they, yes, that is an acceptable deal.
Wonderful.
So 6% of the lineage of this particular tree, and if that grows from this seedling. We will do our best. We will also to grow the seedling, and we will give you updates on it.
And we will have a conservator that we will introduce you to, of course. And of course, it will be someone that hopefully you like. And if you don't, you could just tell us and we'll find a new one.
I'm sure we could find some sort of agreement where they check and make sure that we are taking proper care of your seedling and tree.
And should you need anything, you can always ask them. We're equal partners.
Well, no, you have 6% and we have the rest.
With our tree, we will treat you as equal partners.
Very nice, yes, of course. Very well. Yes, this is a deal has been struck.
Wonderful. Then let me just, and he picks up his tablet and quickly like changes a few things. You can see it like auto finds all the places where it says 18 and just replaces it with 6. And then there's like a whole section that's like breaks down the 1% that he writes very fast. This is actually his main language, is just legalese. There it is. And he slides it across the table.
Leslie pulls like back part of their robe, and you see that they have like this ring that goes to like a bracelet, and they like twist it, and it like pops up another little hologrammy thing, and they like tap it down, and it's sort of like a future like seal, like and it's like their way of signing it, and it communicates and puts like their crest on the thing.
Marvelous.
Thank you so much.
And Rode takes it back and expands his finger rings that are also his communicator and all that stuff. And you all see, probably for the first time, actually a small like cloud, a digital cloud, just kind of appear in his hand, and he pushes it against it, signing it for him.
Nice.
And then he just takes it and swipes it, and it goes to some like master network that he has access to where all of those things get filed. It's sealed. Now, can I interest you in libations?
Yes. Oh, what's that one in the bottle? That's so different.
It's a delicacy from where I come from.
Huh? What do they call it?
I'm a jerk, sorry.
No, I was
Turnabout is fair play.
My lord, no, no. Let's see. We call this little thing an asteroid strike.
Oh, that's a really good name.
I will peel my hands off the back of that chair too, and I'll kind of whisper audibly so that everybody can hear. I'm gonna go reseal that airlock then. I'm gonna walk out the door.
Amazing.
They don't know enough about spaceships to be worried about that. They're like,
Dang it! Oh well.
We're sorry to scare people who actually know how space works.
Right, yeah, true, yeah.
they're so pretty. Look at their space.
Oh god.
Does it have a pool? Okay.
Yeah, and Rode just turns on the charm and is happy to entertain them. His heart is not in it, but boy, he will do it.
Yeah, they're kind of boring.
Yeah.
They talk a lot about trees and a lot of their friends that you don't know.
Yeah, but he will be the most interested.
Their plans for things.
Do they drink the drink, by the way?
Yeah, I think they're going to.
I think Rode also drinks one, despite his intention to not, but he's very much so like, I'm going to do what they're doing.
Okay. Let's see how this goes. Oh, okay. They're actually kind of okay with it. Like they're like, oh, this is strong, but it's got an interesting flavor. But so, like the they're used to very like smooth, like gentle kind of things on their planet. But their drinks are very high alcohol content. So the hit of whatever this is doesn't even hit them, but the taste is like sort of similar to Lawrence eating your food earlier. Like, oh, wow.
Delicacy, sure.
Great for you. Nice.
Rode throws it back.
Just out.
Just
oh, sure.
Just like it's
boom.
normal, just throws
All
it back.
I think I'd have one.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a celebration.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what alcohol is.
Oh no!
Great.
Again, we don't know if this is alcohol.
Yeah, we don't know what this is. Do I have an idea of what this might be now that I've drank it?
It is who knows what crab taste buds are like? Like,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe they think this tastes good. There's writing on the bottle and that weird writing you can't read.
Okay.
It's not like any alcohol you've ever tasted, but it kind of has an alcoholic effect.
He drank it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's too late. Yeah. Deep breath of an apex predator experiencing inebriation.
That's different than I expected. It looks like water. It is clearly not.
It opens up in the mouth, though.
Does it?
He starts opening his
Yeah.
mouth.
Slightly too wide.
Yeah.
All right. So they sit there. What are you doing, Nolvath?
Nolvath is trying to one, learn more about what Tavrock is trying to communicate, but also teach them words. So, like, they're trying to combine, like, the little bits and pieces that they're putting together of, like, what the colors and, like, brightnesses mean with, like, trying to tell them their name, like, repeating it with a specific color combo and, like, until they get it, and then, like, telling them the names for different things.
You notice that they've created a little bit of a different color combination for your name, and that they've kind of merged parents and your name. So you've got that. That's like your name now to them. It's like parent Nolvath, but like flat, like in lights.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
That's very cute.
Yeah, and it's well, it seems to be very happy. It kind of eats whatever you put in front of it, and then it's fine when you're not feeding it. And it does. You do notice like it climbs on like a lot of stuff. Like once you leave the forest area, like it's able to climb up on like the walls a little bit and stuff like that too.
Cool.
Like anything that has like any kind of like edge, it can pretty much climb up.
Cool.
Aside from its shell hardening, is there any like size difference? Does it seem to be growing?
Not like hugely,
Okay.
but it has only been like a couple hours. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if I had noticed it grow, it would probably be at an alarming rate.
Yes,
So-
that'd be very tiny, terrifying.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's still like about it's probably with its little shell thing about the size of like, probably not a full basketball, but like those littler basketballs, the kids' basketballs.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like it's about that size altogether with its little
Baby.
clawsy parts and its little shelly part and all the things.
Cute. Yeah, and then I think they would generally be like just making kind of like scientific observations about like behavior, characteristics, etc. Yeah.
Okay.
We're just hanging out with
Yeah.
Deborah.
It's super cool. I love it. I love everything about it. Okay, I think we're gonna end there for tonight then, and we'll probably pick up next time with arrival on Lestu, or at least arrival in the system, depending on what you do after that. I don't know what you're gonna do after that. And yeah, I love Tavrock.
Well, maybe.
Tavrock is the best. All right. Any last minute stuff that we want to do tonight on the ship or anything?
I have one thing that I think Drunk Road would definitely do.
Okay, I love it.
Yes, good.
After they've talked to our lovely guests until the guests get bored, because he will just stay there until they leave. I think he goes to find Nolvath. I think he starts by looking in the forest. So if you're not in the forest, that would be where he would start.
Yeah, I think they've probably moved on from the forest and they're probably back in the galley. Like it's been long enough.
Okay, so
that
we're-
they're like, baby needs to eat again, probably.
Yeah. And I think like he comes in there and he's acting like he's like cleaning up from the soiree, quote unquote, but he's like rinsing a glass and he sets it down. Where you come from? The animals there. You have said repeatedly that they're very, very big. How big are they? Are they going to become, and he points down at Tavrock, and then he points up at the ceiling. Are they going to become, mega?
We cannot say no for certain, but it seems very unlikely.
Then how do the ones that you know of get that big?
Well, they're not crustacean. The exoskeleton has kind of a limit to the size that it can grow before it will crush the inhabitant.
Fair enough.
But mammals and lizards and other types of creatures don't have that limit.
You are so smart. I've never seen an animal that big.
You do
I-
not wish to.
I have no idea how they even get that big. I don't know how this happened. Points to Tavrock again.
The egg hatched.
They kind of like hold up a little claw and like kind of mimicking like it's pointing at it, and it kind of flashes different colors.
This startles him.
And Nolvath says road and makes a color like a couple of times.
Okay. It's sort of kind of copying the colors of like your feathers.
Mhm.
So it's a little bit like bluish.
Cute. That's your name, by the way. The blue with the brightness and the little bit of
flashing.
green over there, the flashing, yeah.
Fascinating. You're brilliant. I am not equipped to fight if our friend here gets bigger, and I don't know how you survive that.
Well, we live underground. We are now, thanks to some mutations, generally poisonous to about 35% of the megafauna. Venomous to a few others. That's hence the camouflage reflex also. When you go on the surface, you have to hide.
That makes sense.
Be very quiet.
I don't have that ability. He motions to his very, very like brightly colored, scaly, shiny, hyper colorful dress.
Well, you are fortunate in that most planets in the universe are unlike Solara. It is one of the most hostile environments that exists, as far as our species is aware of.
Fascinating.
Which does protect us from interlopers who might come to the planet.
So the animals are what make it hostile.
Yes, also some of the rocks and the plants and a little bit of the air to some species.
Curious. See, where I'm from, it's all the air.
Oh,
Air is just very dangerous.
that seems unfortunate.
Yes.
Is that why you left?
No.
Dot.
Well, we can also assume that things were not trying to eat you from your earlier conversation, so it must have been
No.
something else.
The dangers, the hazards, the megafauna, if you will, of my planet tend to be people.
Oh. That is worse.
I know, I agree. This, and he motions to himself, is consider it my camouflage.
It is nice camouflage.
Thank you. Thank you, Nolvath. I think our new friend here, so long as they stay small, is a lovely addition.
They are quite sweet so far. And if they are the same species as the ones in the cryotubes, you can rest assured that they will not grow larger than approximately my size.
Good, because I think megafauna would devalue our giant ship.
Devalue is one word for it. Devour is probably more likely.
Thank you for that wonderful insight, Nolvath. I think I have to go lie down now. I don't know what Jonas gave me, but it was vile.
Oh, is he drinking things he found in the ship again?
Yes.
That is ill-advised. Scientifically.
Amazing.
Well, do keep us apprised of your symptoms.
Maybe. I'm gonna go sleep in my not warm bed.
All right. Well, that was amazing. There's something you had a look on your face, Dave.
I do.
Okay, do it.
I can start off next time if you want.
Ready?
It is a result of drinking.
All right, let's do it now then, and then
Okay.
we'll start the next time with
Fresh.
in
Okay.
the new jump space.
I think like the rest of the evening, it just devolves into telling of like war stories,
Oh no!
like just completely lost any sense of filter of like. Oh, I remember when the time I took down that air defense network.
Oh, God.
You know, I managed to do it with only having to kill 6 people. It was It's pretty amazing. And like I'm telling it to the guests, like just sitting around the table, just yeah. And then there was the time, and then we landed, and I told them that they needed to wait another 2 hours, so we lost, I don't know, 150,000 landers, but it was fine. We still overpowered them in the end. Like you know, it's just like the maudlin, like devolving into that maudlin talk of like, oh yeah, I remember watching, you know, several of my brood, I guess that's a good term. You know, they were on other landing ships and seeing them evaporated out of the sky. But we managed to take the day. It was still worth it. But it's nice to see you expanding in such a nice way.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to find an uninhabited planet and make it into a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's delightful. I can't wait to come see it someday.
Aww.
But I will endeavor to keep it safe.
So you feel more, so do you feel like you're connecting with people around you, or are you just acting out? Like, are you just like sharing how you feel? Like, are you just like vomit feeling on people?
Yeah, I think that's
Okay,
it.
it's acting
Like, yeah, it is definitely not a situation where like I've tried to make a connection.
Yeah,
It's I'm that guy at the end of the bar that you don't know that just starts telling you stories, and you're like, please stop,
This guy.
please no.
So you're just gonna spend a trust, and you're gonna get to clear 2 conditions. People are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe what he's done," but you also feel better. So.
I don't have any conditions, but
Okay, well,
I did it.
excellent.
If you were there, it's probably a little horrifying. Like
Oh,
these
sure,
three
yeah.
don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
know where I come from, but you're a space traveler. You're
Yeah,
aware.
yeah. Well, and a soldier at that too. So
Right,
I've kind
yeah.
of been, yeah.
But I don't think we've ever attacked humans.
I mean,
Interesting.
I haven't broached that topic with you.
Right.
I'm kind of afraid to ask. But yeah, I assume that like you haven't told me, so like no news is good news in my book. That's all I'm doing. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
But I think I mentioned some things that probably line up with things you remember hearing about.
Oh, sure.
Like
Okay.
some survivors that escaped in like
Yeah.
jump pods through a gate when their planet fell, that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Like you're like, oh,
Oof.
I remember hearing about that. Like that
Yeah.
kind of thing, yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll pocket that information.
All right. Calling it.
We did it.
We did it. Awesome. So, thank you so much for joining us for session 3 of Outrunners, a Starscape actual play here on the Happy Jacks RPG Network. I'd like to thank our chat mod, James B, for his amazing hard work tonight. Thank you to our amazing Patreons who keep us ad-free and independent. It's because of you that we are able to play games that we enjoy without worrying about, publishing companies or making money, because heaven knows little publishing companies don't make any money. And you can join the heroic ranks at happyjacks.org/Patreon. Let's go ahead and start on this side this time.
Aha!
Your hair wanted purple. Dave.
A wild CADave appeared. Hi, everybody. I'm CADave. I am very excited to be back with this whole crew. Like, it already feels like we've been playing for a year. Like, we fell into these characters very quickly, and that's awesome. But you can sometimes find me on Tuesday nights now playing Dave the Diver, because the latest patch added in Godzilla. So I'm not kidding. Like, fully licensed Godzilla exists now.
Why not?
Because the game has everything else. Like, sure, I'm gonna go do like DDR dancing at like a K-pop concert with little like flasher like rave sticks.
Amazing.
Like, let's go do that. Now let's do Indiana Jones discovering an ancient civilization of merfolk. Like, it's
Wild.
the game just doesn't stop adding more things. And now I'm in like a Iron Chef competition where
We're saying that.
I have to sous chef for the guy that runs my little sushi shop. So it's me preparing ingredients and then he's putting together dishes. Yeah, it's just such a delight. I can't express how much I love this stupid little game. But coming up in the not super distant future, we're supposed to get a new space-based trucking game
Oh.
that looks very good. So I'm probably going to start playing some of that too. We'll see.
Cool.
Nice.
And you can find me at CA Sith Lord all over the place.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jay. I played the apparently not very intimidating Jonas.
I love it's like, look rough. Flip my cover.
But yeah, you can follow me on the socials at Transplant Asian on Instagram and JAfrica at JAfrica pretty much everywhere else. Let's see. I'm going to be GMing June 22nd at the Los Angeles Public Library Central Library branch in downtown LA for the Parables convening, an Octavia E. Butler celebration. Which is going to be several games of Fate that take place in the Parable of the Sower universe, or the Parables universe. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be DMing this Saturday at the Hero Workshop in Culver City, 7 p.m. for any of you Los Angelinos who might want to join us for a game. Hope to see you there. And I'm going to be a special guest DM at Conquest Ventura on, hold on, when was it? I think it's July 12th through 14th. A co-author, well, I didn't author it. An author, a friend author of mine, wrote some D&D Adventures League modules, and I did the layout and graphics for him. So we're going to be running that game over there at that con. Hope to see you somewhere. You know, I'll be plugging that as we go further along. Hope to see you there. And you can obviously see me here with this awesome crew and this awesome storytelling GM here on our Starscape AP. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what other eggs we can crack next week.
Oh my god, no more eggs. Road will explode. Hi everybody, I'm Kai. You can find me all over the internet as Estelle of Imladris. You can find me currently, though we are on hiatus, you can find me in all of the amazing deep VOD for Transplanter RPG for the Chaos Protocol, where I'm a main cast member, which was an all-transgender, people of color-led actual play set in a non-colonial, anti-Orientalist multiverse. It is dark fantasy. It is very queer. It's pride. We're just having a grand old time. We just finished our second arc, which was set in Chinese fantasy universe using City of Mist. It was super fun. So now's a good time to catch up. We also have another series coming up very soon. More info coming on that soon. You can catch me on Sundays on Vault Companions with Angels and Atoms, which is a Fallout, the Modifius system, the 2D20 system actual play, where I play Mart, who's a Mr. Handy, and I love him. We are in the Boneyard in Los Angeles, running around trying to maybe find the Enclave, which is a really bad idea, and you shouldn't do it, but it's very funny.
Like the restaurant for Boneyard?
No, the Boneyard, the
Sorry.
that's great. No, it's what they call Los Angeles in Fallout.
Oh,
in the,
got it. Sorry, I was really confused for a minute. I was like, what? Sorry, my brain is very tired.
It'd be very funny to
I
be a
love that
robot
restaurant.
looking for a restaurant, but no. And then you can find me in a week and a half. I can do math. I can't. I'm going to be actually GMing. I'm GMing a Pride one-shot on Just the Humans channel, which is going to be the Wild Sea. And we're going to go on a little queer adventure for Pride on the Wild Sea. I'm going to do a little found family a la Starscape, but in the Wild Sea. With a fun crew for charity.
Yeah.
So yeah, come check that out.
Wild Sea, friend of Happy Jacks, MythWorks.
Yeah, we love MythWorks. Love the Wild
Ray is
Sea.
amazing.
Oh my gosh. I think that's everything for now. Oh my gosh, I'm sure there's something else. But you can follow me over on all of my links for estelvaladras.card.co. Go check out all my random doings.
And hi everybody, I'm Sam. I have played Nolvath, your friendly neighborhood crab parent, for this episode. You can find me on the internets at Red Pandroid on most of the socials, where I'll probably just post pictures of my cute dog. But if you like my weird storytelling and things that come out of my brain, you might want to check out my good friend, who is definitely not me, wink, their book.
Ooh.
This one right here. It's called Shadows Light. The author's name is Sylvie Hillstaff. You can find the ebook and the paperback on Amazon right now. And I have heard that there is going to be a hardback edition with illustrations coming out
Ooh.
in a little bit later this year.
Nice.
If you like monsters and romance and are above the age of 18, because it is spicy, don't read it if you're a child. No. If you like those things, you can go check it out. There's a sequel coming out, which Happy Pride is very queer and features 2 of the side characters from this book. So go read this one first and then stay tuned for book 2.
Ooh, so exciting. And I am Kimi Hughes. I am the designer of this system. I own Golden Lasso Games. I do all the scheduling and managing for this stuff. You can find me at Golden Lasso Games and Golden Lasso Girl and at Happy Jacks RPG. And yeah, there's a lot. There's
Almost
a lot
all the
of social
time,
media.
except when I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
The power!
If you want to support this game, you can go to goldenlassogames.com/Kickstarter. It will redirect you to the Kickstarter page because Kickstarter links are ridiculous. Yeah, you can go right now. There's a follow page. We're doing a whole thing where if we get certain levels of followers, where I'm releasing pre-gens of different famous like crews. So at 300, we earned the crew of Serenity and from Firefly. At 400, we earned the Enterprise D and the crew from Star Trek TNG. Next one is Farscape, which is like
that's gonna be really
personal
fun.
fun of mine. I love them. So, and we're like at like 448 or something right now. I don't know. We're close. We're getting there. We're like almost halfway there. So go do the thing, and it will notify you when we go live, and then hopefully we will fund so that this game can be in your hands too. So, all right. Thank you all. We'll be back again next week. If you want to catch up on other episodes of this game, you can go to Happy Jacks RPG or happyjacks.org/Starscape. Yes, Dave.
One last thing I forgot to mention.
Go.
If you're listening to this sometime in the month of June and you live somewhere between the 2 coasts of the United States and you have a really cool like game store, a really neat place that you would recommend people stop at, send me a message on the Discord for Happy Jacks because I'm going on a massive road trip in July. So I would not mind stopping at really cool game stores or weird places like
rad.
that. So if you have any recommendations, somewhere between California and Massachusetts, with various northerly, southerly routes on the table for us to go back and forth, who knows where we'll end up. But I would appreciate hearing cool places.
Fantastic.
So thanks.
Yeah. All right. All right. Thank you all, and we will see you next week, Monday at 7 p.m. ish Pacific time. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, folks.